Okay. I'd like to call the Adams County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Mr. Bradford, would you lead us in the prayer and then we'll say the pledge in unison.
Let us stand. Let's bow here. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, O God, for allowing us to see this new year. And Father, we just carefully give your name all honor, praise, and glory. And Father, we just ask, oh God, that you continue to keep us in perfect health and in one mind. And Father, we just want to send a special prayer out, oh God, to anyone that may have lost any loved ones or this last year into this new year. We ask that you continue to comfort them. We send a special prayer to the Hamlin family and the Buffalo Bills, oh God. Continue to strengthen him and the football community, oh God. And Father, we just ask, oh God, the elected officials continue to bless them, oh God. Bless them individually and bless them collectively. And Father, we just pray for the new incoming board president, continue to give him or her the insight, oh God, to lead your people. And Father, we just pray all these blessings in Adams County, that all our projects meet no resistance. We just claim it and we name it for grants and prosperity in this county and this city and this state and this country. Father, continue to bless the leaders. Bless our school system, our teachers, our first responders, oh God. And Father, we just ask, oh God, to continue to uplift everyone, oh God, and let perfect praise and peace be among your people. And Father, we ask in your precious Son, in Jesus' name, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'll ask for nominations for board president for a term of 1 year.
Nominate Supervisor Gaines.
Second. No more nominations. I'll ask for a motion to appoint Supervisor Gaines as president for a term of 1 year.
I move that we appoint Supervisor Gaines for 1 year.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous. Congratulations. Now you take the post.
So I need a motion to appoint a vice president. A motion to nominate a vice president.
I nominate Kevin Wilson.
Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gray. Now I need a motion to appoint Supervisor Kevin Wilson as vice president.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Gray. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Aye.
I guess.
Our newly elected vice president is the Honorable Kevin Wilson.
Thank y'all.
Right? Moving right along. I need a motion to appoint the board attorney for 1 year.
I move that we appoint.
Reappoint.
I move that we reappoint myself for 1 year.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Wilson to reappoint Attorney Scott Slover as board president for a term of 1 year. Are we ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays have the same right.
Part of that adoption has always been the execution of a contract that first makes us do. It's the same one that hadn't changed, but I'll submit it for you all for your review.
Just include that in the motion.
Right. If that's okay.
All right, I need
motion to appoint, Angie King, our county administrator, reappoint.
I move that we reappoint, Ms. Angie King as county administrator.
Yes, second. I'll second it. All right, any opposed? Are we ready? Huh? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Nay, have the same right.
Nay.
Nay.
Do a roll call, Supervisor, Gray, how you vote?
Yay.
Supervisor Hudson, how you vote?
Nay.
Supervisor Wilson, how you vote?
Nay.
Supervisor Milton, how you vote? Nay. And I vote yay. So, y'all gotta hear me with that.
Motion fails.
Motion, motion failed. Where we go?
Mr. Attorney, what do we do?
What, yeah, Mr. Attorney, where we go from here?
You don't have a county administrator appointed at the moment. I think it's a prerogative of the board. So,
Mr. President, Mr. Attorney, you gotta break that down to me.
Yeah.
What you're saying is a prerogative of the board. I don't understand what you're
it
saying.
doesn't appear that they want to appoint her, that the three don't want her to be the county administrator.
So where do we go from here?
I mean,
We know county
With
administrator.
no county administrator, where do we go?
in the temporary, you can appoint the chancery clerk as temporary county administrator. You know, you can put out for bids for, advertisements for county administrator during that time.
I make a motion that we appoint Miranda at this point.
It's been moved motion by, Supervisor, Hutchins, and it's been seconded by Supervisor Wilson to appoint Brandy, Chancellor Clerk Brandy Lewis as the,
And authorize advertising.
yeah. All right, are we ready to vote? The motion
is to appoint Brandy
Brandy.
as interim.
at interim
Advertise.
and advertise for county administrator.
So moved.
Well,
We already did.
You already made the motion, you
I
said,
second it, so you ready to vote?
you already vote,
I got a discussion.
discussion?
Ms. Brandy, they talk to you about this?
No, sir, but I think that's the default by statute, and it's
Okay.
just in the interim, so y'all can advertise, so,
All right.
yes, sir.
I got a
Already.
discussion. Let me say this. Reason for my vote. Based on the information that has been shared during previous executive sessions, I was able to make my, definitive decision on this vote. I also want to say, if I recall, I'm not allowed to share this information that has been brought to all board members during previous executive session.
All right. Are we ready to vote? Supervisor Gray?
I just want to say that, in the past years as board president, I dealt with a lot of phone calls that a lot of people on the board I don't think got. And those phone calls mostly came from outside the county. And a lot of the problems that we dealt with inside the county were personnel issues. And when you have recurring personnel issues because of stuff going on in the county, it really prohibits us from moving forward and being a productive board. And I just didn't like the direction that this county was headed. And sometimes you're up here, you gotta make very hard decisions. And they're not fun, they're not easy, sleepless nights. But I go to bed every night with this county on my mind, whether people believe it or not. And that's where I stand, and that's the decision I had to make.
All right, Supervisor Hudson, how you vote? He already voted, yeah.
Just on Brandon,
No, Brandon, yeah.
yeah,
Supervisor Wilson?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. All right. I need a motion to appoint Ms. Sharkay Martin as comptroller.
I move that we appoint Ms. Martin as comptroller.
second,
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins to appoint, Ms. Sharkey Martin as comptroller. All in favor? Aye. Nays have the same right. Motion carried. All right. I need a motion to appoint Robert Donald as the road manager, for this time. Can I get a motion?
Reappoint.
Reappoint. Yes.
Robert Dollar as road manager.
second,
It has been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by, Supervisor Hutchins. Are you ready to vote? All in favor is aye. Aye. Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. I need a motion to reappoint for Darryl Smith as a volunteer firefighter coordinator.
I move that we reappoint Darryl Smith as fire coordinator.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Wilson that we reappoint Darryl Smith as our fire coordinator. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Aye. Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. So now, Mr. Lloyd, so do I keep going? We don't have a county administrator. We need to.
You do.
I mean, I can move to Brandon.
But you might want to help tell her which ones you.
There we go.
Alright, I need a, motion to,
You appoint and then it's ratified.
okay, and my apologies, but I do not have the names of. Do you have the names?
No, we don't even have a purchase clerk yet.
You know, we don't have a person.
We hired a purchasing clerk. We're in the process of hiring a purchasing clerk,
Okay,
so.
we do not have anybody for that position right now?
And that ran out.
Advertisements on that school.
Okay, so we have the advertisement out for purchase clerk. I need a motion to reappoint Claudia White as the receiving clerk.
I move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion carries. I need a motion to reappoint Corvette McNeil as the inventory clerk for a term of 1 year.
so moved,
Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we'll wait on the purchase clerk for that.
All right.
No, this.
No. All right, reappointment. Just that way I move right to the docket.
Yeah.
Let's do a reappointment, so I move right back to the docket.
You should do the minutes first.
Aye.
Minutes first?
Right, can I get a motion to approve the, December minutes?
So moved.
second,
It's been moved by Supervisor.
It's like a lot of things in Mississippi law, some things are 1 year appointment, some years not.
Okay. I'm going down this. All right, I had a motion by Supervisor Middleton and a second by Supervisor Hutchins to approve the December minutes. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Aye. Motion, passed unanimously. Now can I get a motion to approve the docket?
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Middleton to approve the docket. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay, had the same right. All right, docket approved. Approval of the monthly financial report, Adams County Sheriff Office. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Hutchins to approve the Adams County monthly sheriff report. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Aye. Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously. I need a motion to approve the financial report for the Chancery Clerk. It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins. And a second by Supervisor Wilson to approve the Chancellor Clerk. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Aye. Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. Any special presentation? At this time, any special presentation? If there's no special presentation, we'll move on down with council.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I don't have a special presentation, but it's something I read, last time, and I'm gonna read it again if you don't mind. And it says that God have a plan for our life. We live our life if there was no plan. We pretty much operate out of emotions and feelings when we make our decisions. One thing I know about emotions and feelings, you can't trust your emotions and your feelings because they change by the hour, by the day. Our emotions are crazy. They came out with this song, "Sometimes I Feel Like a Nut." Well, sometimes I feel like a Christian. Sometimes we don't. There's a whole lot of things going on in this world right now, and it's just me feel like this. I feel like whatever happened in 2022, we need to leave it there. And we don't need to continue to bring stuff from 2022 into 2023. And to my board, I know we're not gonna agree on everything, and it's not supposed to work like that. But at the end of the day, we supposed to show each other respect and able to work together. I just want to say, proper planning prevent poor performance, and I believe all five of us as supervisors need to get a plan in place, where we are, where we want to go, and how to get there. And it's gonna take all five of us working together to do that. And thank you, Mr. President, for that short time.
All right. We're gonna move right along with county business. Ms. Sherry Brown, Model Trail.
Yes, right
She's
here.
right there.
Good morning, supervisors. I live at 18 Nottaway Trail in Gold Crest, and I am bringing what happened in 2022 into 2023 reluctantly. I came before you all in 2016 and spoke with Mr. Gray. I believe I gave him a thumb drive with pictures of the pooling water on my street at that time. I see where, you all have printouts, paper printouts of the photographs that I took. And I have two actually photos on photo paper, which is much clearer, and I'd like to start with those. If you see the 2016 photograph, that water pooled into the street. Now, it has been said that there is a pond on the north side of that street. Indeed, there is. However, I was just told too that that property on the side where that pond is raised and sloped. So perhaps when it rains really hard, the water does pool. However, just recently, property, there were 2 lots that were for sale that has been sold. And if you look at the photograph from 2022, the sellers, the buyers of that land, decided they would open up a section to create a driveway. And if you see between the 2 trees, that water now, in addition to the pond, the water from that pond, it runs down that slope off of those 2 lots now, because it has been open, a opening has been created there, which has exacerbated the condition. I'm sorry I don't have a video of that water that runs off of that lot and that pond now, because there are whitecaps, literally, that comes off of there, and water just rushes into the street. Now, next to my house is a culvert, and the water typically drains down from the street into that culvert between my property and the neighbor next door to me, and it goes onto the golf course. They have, I'm assuming, a drainage system out there on the golf course, but sometimes that pond on the golf course even fills up, and it's just a massive amount of water out there also. So we've got a situation where it's almost like a dam being created. Water flows in, fills up, but it has nowhere to go. So I was told that I have the ability to get that water off my property by any means necessary. It currently now has come across the sidewalk onto the grass on my property. I'm hoping that it never rains 40 days and 40 nights, and that water eventually gets into my home. Because at that point, there is a liability. And either the county, the city, or whomever exacerbated that problem might be responsible for my house being damaged if water ever got to that point. So that's my presentation this morning. If there are any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, you said that was it like that before this guy cut into the driveway?
The 2016 picture is like this before when they opened that area.
In 2016 is when
Yeah, I have
No, they opened it last
do you
year.
have 2 of these? Oh, you could have.
You got one?
You got
Because
these
it's not the same as what you're looking at. And also the grass, in 2016, the grass absorbed a lot of that moisture. But when they opened it up in 2022, it just it opened the floodgates. So like I said, I don't want it to get to a point where my house, the water comes into my home. And of course, that area is not zoned for a flood zone. So, I shouldn't have to be required to buy flood insurance if that water gets into my home. And the problem is that it was created either by opening up that land or that pond that's on the north side, which when it fills up creates the problem. So I don't know what the county could do in order to remedy the situation. Of course, there is no drainage system out there. So I really would like to have you all brainstorm, get some civil engineering in, and see if something can be done to create a situation where that water is not gonna pool in that street like that.
Ms. Brown, I'm gonna let, Robbie Dollar's been out there, he's our road manager, and, he's gonna,
I went out and took some pictures, which I discussed it with you last time with that, and I do see what you're talking about. I took pictures of the cut area that he did.
You may have that too.
Okay. And here,
That those pictures are not when it was torrentially
I'm
raining.
not saying, but I'm saying they have built stuff to collect water to make it drain there. See the pipe here that you're discussing? They built this to collect that water. It's another pipe here, over here, to collect water between both lots that where the houses are, the empty lots where he cut it. If you'll look up here where this part is here, it's a berm built all the way behind those houses. And it goes down to the end of the street to the cul-de-sac, and it runs around that cul-de-sac, through that ditch, out through into a pond on the golf course. You're right. So when you cut that berm down, you're relieving that water from there. Did the neighborhood association give him permission or give permission to cut that area there?
I think there was a discrepancy regarding who gave permission to do what. I'm not sure of the details, but there seemed to be a
Is
question.
he the one that bought the lots?
Who's that?
The guy that cut them, is he the one that bought the lots that's making the entrance to that backside of his property?
The person who cut that opening?
Yes,
To
ma'am.
create the
Does he own
driveway?
that lot that
Yes, he
cut?
owns both of those
So
lots.
he bought both lots and the land behind him, so he
Yes.
cut that to make him a drive-through?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, those two little
Drainage
drainage,
pipes.
they've been there. all
Yes, ma'am,
along.
they were there when it
But they
really
do
was built.
they do no good.
But that's what I say, it was a water issue there, they wouldn't have to put them there back when they
Okay.
developed that neighborhood, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
They were trying to collect that water to those pipes
Okay.
instead of letting it overrun, and now with so much water, they're not doing any good. It's
Right.
just, cause I do have pictures here that I could show you with it, just all the leaves where it does come through like you're talking about, and that's what I say, if he's the one that owns both lots in the neighborhood, did see all the leaves, how they just float
Right,
through there.
exactly.
So if the neighborhood give him permission to cut that, then I think that's when somebody needs to be discussing with the neighborhood or letting them.
Well, to my understanding, the neighborhood did not give permission to do that. It was not, well, I was told that there was not permission given. And that the association was not notified prior to them buying the property. And then after they bought the property,
He cut
they
that
decided
access
to open it up.
right in there. Okay. And I guess what'll happen, I'll get with the attorney and I'll get with the engineer, but me and the attorney will get together, maybe get hold to the association and see if it was any agreements made between them and the landowner or whatever, letting them do that. Because like you said, it's a berm all the way across the backside of those houses to protect those houses. And that berm was put there for a reason when they developed that neighborhood,
Okay.
to protect those houses from that water. But like you said, with the settlement in the pond, now the pond can't hold as much water, so it runs over. And then like I said, we have 6-7 inches of rain in, 24 hours.
Right.
We run across this all over the county.
Okay.
So, and it is outlets, when you say it's not any drainage, it's right across the street, it's a rip out ditch where that water comes out, it's supposed to go between the houses.
Oh, that's
Get it
my
out.
house and then
Correct.
this house, right?
Yes, ma'am. I would think the Smiths maybe be your neighbor or something. I
Beatty.
rode out,
Right.
again, weekend and looked.
Or Betty, okay,
Okay.
I'm sure.
All right, but like I said, we have been looking into it, but, it's really gonna be a private issue off, but I will get with the attorney and the board and the engineers and we'll get back and see what we can do.
Thank you very
If we
much.
can resolve it, I don't know.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you Supervisor Wilson. for-
yes, ma'am, you can call me anytime, we're gonna get this straightened out. You're gonna be talking to Sue Loy, I assume. I don't know if you've talked to Sue Loy. Is Sue Loy still the homeowner association?
She is, and I sent her pictures and texts and phone calls.
I'll try to make a call to her too when we leave here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You have her contact information?
All right, we're gonna move on to, Bill and Neely 21 Village Square, and
Good morning, board. How you doing? I own the property at the end of Village Square Boulevard, and I've been talking to the state and also Robbie, and, I've got some pictures that I took back 12/8 of this past year on the erosion. The water coming off that hill off of both boulevards looked like a river. And all that water is coming onto my property causing property damage. Now I talked to the state and they said that I qualify, because I've got sewage lines and a power pole that's in the way that's eroding real bad around it. December the 8th, the erosion was so bad, the erosion was here and you can see the green. I'll have to get y'all some copies, but there's the sewage line that was still in place at that time had dropped about 3 feet and the manhole had dropped about 3 feet also. On 12/31, went back out there and took pictures. Now the sewage line is busted and raw sewage is going in that ditch now. I've been talking to Robbie off and on for probably 6 months now, maybe a year. And I was told that we couldn't really do anything until we had a 4-inch event. Well, this last time we had 3.5 inches, so, I'm just coming to y'all, telling y'all that I need some help because the erosion is just taking my property away. And I've got to do something.
all right,
I've been out several times in the last few weeks looking at it, talking to Billy about it. Like I said, it's a private road going in where he's talking about all that water's coming off of Village Square running down the road and that. I was out, I think Wednesday before Christmas, and took some pictures of it. Then I went back and took pictures of it the same, must have been 30th, whenever the same day you was, because we talked that day and I told him I'd been out that morning again to look at it. When I was out Wednesday before Christmas, I could hear it, and that's what I told him, it sounded like water was running, it was disconnected then. The pipe was, like I said, I don't know if it's any other monies available. I don't know what the board is, but, you know, as far as EWPs, it's left up to the board, you know, far as to submit it as EWPs, but as we know, once we submit EWPs, it is Adams County's to maintain from here on out, with sewers and things like that involved. So that'd be something that,
This might be something you can do within DEQ.
well, that's what I say, I think it'd be something in another avenue we might could do to try to help. I don't know, but I do know if we do submit it as EWP, he said he spoke with the state, they're saying it would qualify, is what he's saying.
They told me it would qualify because he said it's not considered a public road if a school bus comes down. And the school bus comes down that road every day.
It's not on the list. It's not, it doesn't matter whether they do or don't, it should be on the list.
Oh, it's probably, the road probably on our list, yeah, Village Square's on our list
Yeah.
of roads, but I mean, I'm just saying, you know, it's a lot of roads that's private that you can go down. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, we can submit it or not submit it, it's left up to the board to do that, but, I just want the board to understand if we do submit it or what, you know, what it would be as far as us, and if it's another avenue like you talking about, Scott, maybe we take the liability off the county for sewers and things like that once they do it, you know, or
Mr.
fix it.
President,
yes, sir, Supervisor Grant.
Mr. Neely, this lagoon on your property is it serving these houses?
Yes, sir, it serves all of Village Square apartments and also Kenneth Grave, all that comes through there.
Okay, this question is to the engineer, do they have any kind of grants or something that we can apply for to, address this problem? Since he have a lagoon down there,
I can see a DQ that they got there,
could you do that for us, please?
of course.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And like I said, on 12/31, this last rain that we had, it was about 3.5 inches, and now that covered, I mean, the manhole and that drainage pipe that you're seeing is broke now. It's gonna fell down another 10 feet, so, I got some serious problems out there. And it really bothers me that it's, sewage going into that ditch.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Neely, what we need to do is, like you said, we need to explore, MDQ, explore, get the engineers the time to go look, and we'll need to see what we can do. As some form of, one of those avenues, we should be able to come up with something to try to, help get that problem corrected. And so, get the engineers, give Scott a chance to look, Mr. Dollar, give them a chance to put their head together, and hopefully, in the next meeting or so, we can come back to understand it's an urgent problem.
Yeah, because when I talked to the state, they said that I would qualify as an emergency, and you probably wouldn't have to go through the bidding process.
Okay.
That's what they know.
Yeah,
But so I mean, you gotta have some sort of legal avenue to do that, since it's on private property affecting private individuals. You've got to have that. Typically, it's the EWP grant that allows us to do that. Outside of that, we don't have permission to do it. That's what we're gonna check at MDQ, maybe they'll give us an additional avenue to. But we can't go fix private property without,
all right, Supervisor Hudson.
Okay, it may be another avenue we could take also, this is to the engineer, Mr. Ford. Maybe with DRA, maybe you could check and see if DRA also have a grant for that. They said we hadn't applied for anything, and that could maybe be one of the things that we can apply for also with DRA. Because they have that water and sewage also.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Neely, and we'll be in close contact, sometime in the near future. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Supervisor Gray.
I just want Mr. Miller to know if there's no grants and we do decide to take it on as an EWP project, we looking at a whole nother year. We gotta get funded, and then that funding don't come till the next year. So this situation gonna be got worse.
It is, every time it rains, I cross my fingers that something does happen.
Even in an emergency situation,
I thought they said they don't do that no more.
I thought they said it was.
The state told me if it was an emergency, they wouldn't have to bid it out.
But this is federal.
So,
Am I, Robin?
At EWP?
Yeah.
Emergency Watershed Protection Program, yeah.
and there's not is it not go to Adams County Water or anything like that? The sewer?
No, this
See,
is,
that's what happens too.
electrical and sewage, I mean, that's what he told, he said they qualify because I got 3 factors, and that's the school bus taking kids down there, and the electrical pole in the right of way, and the washout of the sewage line. He said I qualify on 3 different things.
All right, well, we'll,
But it's, whose sewer company is it? Who's
Sorry?
turning the sewer?
It's mine, it's my sewage.
It's your sewer company.
Well, I tell you, Natchez Housing Authority is responsible for the sewage all the way to my property line that's fenced in. Between them.
So where the meter is,
But where the manhole is,
the
that's all,
manhole, and where I could hear it running when I
it's
come
all
out
on
of
my,
the loop
that's on
in.
my property, they're just responsible for the lines itself.
Natchez Housing Authority.
Yeah, Natchez Housing.
But does anyone actually treat the sewer?
Yeah, I mean, I treat it every week. It's current with, DEQ and all.
all right, well, so what we're gonna do, Scott, we're gonna let you, get with Mr. Neely, and y'all gonna have to have a formal conversation so he can see what's legal and not legal for us for private property, what the county can do, so y'all get together and, we'll take care of it, all right? All right, now we gonna, move on to city business, any city business.
I don't have no business, but I just want to congratulate, Walter Brown on his retirement. Been there a long, long time. I just want to congratulate him on his retirement.
All right. Well, Scott, this is, I guess it can be city or county because we doing it together. What's in the, update on Morgantown?
Morgantown Road, I'm glad they brought that up, this probably can fall under there. We got the MOA signed by MDOT back. They said the next step is to select an engineer. There is a form letter that they had, and actually George helped me find the form letter, but I need a motion to select the engineer, or required as there a small purchase to review 2 other engineers under the form letter I said we looked at. Neil Schaefer, JKNS and IMS, and selected IMS to go, and I think that's probably accurate. So I need a motion to select IMS as the
I
engineer.
move that we select IMS as the engineer for the Morgantown Road project.
Right.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins that we elect IMS as the engineers for the Morgantown Road project. Are we, and second by Hutchins. Are we, ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
They said that, I think they're kind of tired of me calling them every day, so they said that George needs to call Randy George in the lobbies.
Got a question.
Yes, Supervisor Hutchins.
Were we supposed to re-appoint IMS?
We did.
But
No,
No, we didn't.
is it on the list of?
it was not on the list.
It's not on the list.
We need to reappoint them.
Then you don't need to, if it's not on the list. We went and pulled the ones that have to be annually reappointed.
I wanna make sure they pull, I just follow the list that they pull for reappointment. All right?
City business.
See, okay, Supervisor Middleton has some city business.
We had spoken back in December about having a joint meeting with Mayor Gibson, Chief Kyle Green, the sheriff, myself, and Supervisor Gaines. That meeting was tentatively scheduled for January 9th, and then it was canceled. I think they're sending Chief Green to chief school. So that meeting will get pushed back a little bit into January to try to open up the communication line between Natchez PD and our sheriff's office. And I think it's very important. I think it's an opportunity now for us to move forward. So that meeting still will happen. Just don't have to take the time yet.
Okay, all right, and we thank you for that information.
One thing,
Yeah, Sheriff.
since he brought that up, I do wanna say something on that. As far as Chief Green being in office, we have been communicating a lot, a ton. But one thing I would want you all to add to that meeting is the situation with this Project NOLA grant and the cameras that's sitting there. That's an opportunity for the county, the city, and everybody to move more towards being considered a smart city. And so I'm gonna ask you all to make sure that's added to that agenda if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Any other comments? Any other city business? If not, we're gonna move to the, departmental reports. And the first thing we have, we can do that. We had the 4-year, road plan affidavit. I don't know about anybody else. I know I probably need till the next meeting for we can sign the next, while we do our 4-year road.
I give one of what we've done, in these past 2 years or whatever, 4 years, and what's updated, and we can add to it at any time.
Yeah.
It'll be presented to you.
Okay, so I would like to, if it's okay, ask that we, give me enough time to catch up and, we can, get it done on next board meeting, if it's okay with the board. Okay?
Mr. President,
That is okay, but we need to have it knocked out before the February meeting.
Yes.
Before the February meeting, yes, sir.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir, Supervisor Gray.
Mr. Dollar,
Yes.
what happened in Wilkinson County with Jackson Point? Is that gonna prevent us from riding our part
Correct.
of the road in
Correct.
Wilkinson
Yes,
County?
it is.
Correct. Yeah, you will not be able to get
No.
Next knock 100 miles off the course.
So in the process of signing an affidavit, then what do we do about not being able to
Get the sheriff,
ride Jackson Point?
get the sheriff to take you in a helicopter.
it. Legal's out, but I think.
He said he's out.
You may have to say stayed in there or something, you may talk to Scott that, that at this point, we can't access our property or access Adams County roads because of Wilson County's bridge problem. They come out Wilson trying to get to the Narrows.
Yeah.
They can't ride that because of that bridge.
Correct.
So we just wanted to know what to do or how to sign an affidavit saying that he rode his road when he really did ride it down. I guess.
Looking to see that, you've been on that road
Oh,
before.
I haven't rode it.
But,
I just come from down there in December the 12th or 13th. I rode it before the bridge went out. I'm just saying everybody else.
yes,
I
sir.
never owned
I think
it. Way ago.
if anyone hasn't done, just let me know more.
Yeah.
Figure out what to do.
I always put a notation, I could not make it down this road because of conditions, so,
All right. Well, all right, everybody, hearts and mind clear. We move on to departmental reports. Take off.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Justice with Adams County Justice Court. First, I want to say thank you for giving me my new hire so quickly. But upon it, we ran into the situation, even when that I had been coming over here inquiring about raises for my department since I had taken office, and for some reason we never granted that. But pay disparity landed in justice court when that happened. It's like a $4 increase. I don't think it's fair that I have three other clerks, same title, and she come in with no experience, making that much money. And I understand if you can't bump them up, but it needs to be some type of fairness. That's all I'm asking. I want. They have the same title, same job description.
Mr. President, do you recall we did a form about these type of increases? Might be able to let her fill out the form and then get with the supervisor and with the county administrator and bring back a report? Does that sound?
Yes, we had, things out of order, but what we had is, we created a form.
Okay.
We created a form, and when you get ready to come, you asking and you need any kind of increase, we'll get with they should have sent them to everybody. We're already, you fill your form out, what you got, or what was you expecting to get with the administrator, and they present it to the board. And if you would, you can, get that form filled out, and, we can look at it, cause I know we was trying to get our 1.8 million. So I mean, if anybody here on the board, you correct me if I'm wrong. Not that we was looking over anybody, because I definitely don't want to think I'm looking over them. And the sheriff's department, I know for one, who's been pushing, and I know you have been inquiring, but we was in a deficit. We was trying to see can we recover some of our 1.8 million. If I recall, as a board, that we made a decision to not put us in the hole. Not we want people to get to a living wage, not a working wage. But we was waiting on that process. If I'm incorrect, anybody let me know.
Correct.
And so.
So where is that? Anybody has one on here?
It should have been emailed to everybody, but if not,
I just emailed to Brandy and she'll send it.
and she'll send it to you.
And thank you for that. And I have personnel issue I would like to read in executive session.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll get started.
Mr. President, can I say this?
Yes, sir.
I'm
Supervisor.
just one supervisor, and I don't want nobody to feel like they wasting their time filling out no paperwork. Until we get an answer on that $1.8 million, there's no way we're gonna get nobody no raise. So paperwork or no paperwork, and we as a supervisor feel like this. Once we get the 1.8, I think we need to address the whole county for us giving out raises. But until we can figure out what we're gonna do with the 1.8, because if we don't get it, we're gonna have to pay it.
Well, it's fine. I
So
agree.
that's the way they're gonna.
But if you, like I said, if you can't bump them up, you can bring her down. Right?
We can't do that. We can't.
Well,
bump them down.
once we in, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Once we in executive session,
We can,
we'll elaborate on what happened and give you a little insight on how we did that with one of those employees, and you understand what we had to do.
Okay.
yeah,
That'll work. This way.
Yeah.
All right. And I see y'all. Will somebody call me? We in the middle of quarter time.
Yeah,
All
all
right.
we'll
right.
have to back on.
All right, next departmental report.
And that fails with E911.
E911,
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm giving out the report for the month of December. The number of calls we had for PD is 1,464. Adams County SO is 630. Natchez Fire Department had 50 with 14 being counted. Also, I do want to bring this to your attention as well. I did a call analysis breakdown on the PD calls. Most of their calls is consisted of traffic stops that they're initiating and alarm calls. That's why they have more calls than Adams SO, which Adams SO is originally taking calls, service. So if you'd like to take a look at that, you know, I do have this.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. L.
Hello.
Good morning.
I have 4 board orders, 1 for personal and 3 for real property. On personal property, it was my fault. Aaron's out here, you know, they moved to John R. Junkin. I put it in the inventory twice. And so, I'm asking for a reduction of about $1,700 for Aaron's.
All right, you heard, the request of,
I'm kidding.
yeah, I got you. Ms. Haywood, I tried to think last time. Ms. Haywood said she made a mistake in, double assess the property
Yes.
and, asked for a change. Can I get a motion to reduce?
Second.
It's been moved by, Supervisor Milton and second by Supervisor Wilson on the reduction of the Aaron's property.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, we doing this right?
It's doubly assessed within the fiscal year. This is for 2021 taxes.
22,
22 taxes.
yes, sir. Yes,
So timely.
It was on the rendition, then it was on the asset list, and I picked it up twice.
Sure. You got your petition?
Yes.
Yes. All right, are we all ready to vote? All in favor, say, use the sign of aye. Aye.
I admire a woman who admits she made a mistake.
Oh, I think it was good.
Motion carried now.
I did. For the real property, I have 2 parcels. Patricia Martin, she lives at 1104 First Street, Natchez. And, Elmer Cater at 77 Magnolia Acres. Their homestead was somehow deleted. I don't know who done that, I didn't do it, but, their homestead was accidentally deleted in error. So we're asking for them to be able to get their homestead back.
So move.
You heard the request, Sister Haywood, has been moved by Supervisor Wilson, second by Supervisor Hutchins, that, she reinstate the homestead on the 2, stickers.
Total about $1,800.
Total about $1,800. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, use the sign of aye. Aye. Nays have the same right.
Last,
Motion carried unanimous. All right.
Same thing. These are 22 taxes.
yes, sir. Mark E. Robinson at 111 Woodhaven Drive. The appraiser put, 2 too many bathrooms on his house. And we called it after the bill, of course. So we're asking for a reduction of $380. Take the 2 bathrooms off his house.
All right, you heard the, request of Ms. Haywood by wrongfully assessed, putting two many bathrooms on the house. By reduction of $300, can I get a motion? Been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by, Supervisor Milton. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Use the sign of aye, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Peggy, while you're
Sir?
on the loss prevention, last year we did a tax exemption in December of 21, right?
22.
Last month would have been 22, so it was the year before that, in 21, we granted it. But we never included the resolution onto the minutes, is that correct? Okay. So what we need is a motion to amend for clarification The resolution will go on this minutes, but it reflects back to the December, where we forgot to put the resolution actually onto the minutes.
All right, you heard the attorney.
Any motion?
I need a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Mills. Y'all ready to vote? All in favor by using the sign of aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? They have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
Is that good?
That's fine, I hadn't heard back from the state yet.
Could you do me a favor and try to call
For
your,
$1.98.
I will give you $1, whatever, when you ask.
$1.98.
If you can do me a favor and call them, because they asked me about it too.
Okay.
All right. Next, departmental report.
Good morning. My name is Tyke Martin, I'm still purchase clerk for the newly appointed comptroller. The first thing I would like to spread across the minutes to get approved is the credit card statement for the travel credit card and the procurement card for the November statement.
You heard the purchase clerk. I need a motion. It's been moved by Supervisor Mills. Second by Supervisor Hutchins. Are ready to vote? All in favor, use the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
And
All right.
also, when we did the order for the SCBA's for the fire department, for the volunteer firefighters, they are also requiring, materials, the training materials. And the quote we received was for Jones and Bartley Learning LLC in the amount of $11,902.40. It would also, fall under the grant, the FEMA grant that is being, that the SCBA's are being processed through as well. That, grant is an amount of $96,704.25, and then there was a 5% county match of $4,835.72. Now, the initial equipment was $87,612. This equipment is $11,902.40, so it'll still fall within that threshold of the reimbursement.
All right. Wait, you heard the purchase clerk request for the approval of additional $11,000 on the grant that will fall within the. It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins. Are we ready to vote? All in favor by using the sign of aye? Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
I have started, the process with the recreation for East Park. We initially had quotes from Great Southern. He did an overall quote for each part. I was able to work with another company who we also deal with normally to get the recreation equipment. And doing his, basing it against his quotes, I was able to come out substantially cheaper. As far as, and also in talking to state audit just to make sure that I could do it that way. They said that I could use his initial quote as the primary quote, and anything else I could, long as everything met up and everything matched, I could use an additional quote and process ordering the equipment. So with Providence, the initial quote that he gave from Great Southern was in the amount of his initial quote was in the amount of $54,448.20. Now that was covering a structure, 4 picnic tables, basketball goals. He also had installation on there in an amount of $14,000, and also the equipment freight. But with Great Southern, not Great Southern, Summit Supply, I was able to get the goals and the picnic tables ordered for $14,640, and that was including shipping. Now, the structure, I'm still working with him and finalizing it, and I will have that for the next board meeting. But as far as the price, his initial price, we won't be going with him as far as the equipment. Now, the structure itself, the playground structure that we're looking to replace at Providence I'll be getting quotes from him and another vendor to, make sure we have comparable quotes to, decide on the right person so that they can do the installation as well. And I know that initially for Providence Park, it was budgeted for $25,000. So I'm asking for an increase because, in working with Johnny and also with with Wes, we went out there and we looked at what needed to be done out at Providence. We're looking at the gutters because around the pavilion, is water settling. We are also looking at the roof on the concession stand because it has rotted and there are weak spots and everything. So we did get with Dunn Construction and getting quotes, and he was able to provide a quote. His quote was in the amount of, for the concession stand, the exterior, that was for the roof. For labor and materials, it was $18,500. And he gave a quote for the gutters. He quoted it at $7,000. He did 2 individual quotes, but we're still trying to get a second quote. Me and Johnny are working with someone to get a second quote as well.
President Gaines.
Yes, ma'am.
You said the initial budget was 25.
25,000
I
per
don't
property.
think that was an initial
Yeah,
budget.
okay.
I think that just was some of the estimates that Scott had put together once we had given him some things. But it really was a budget, it was just estimates.
Okay.
So long as we stay within the amount of the bond,
Okay.
I think this should be fine. It's not a cost of what each part would cost. It just was an estimate that Scott was given when we gave him what we wanted. And things have gone up too since that time.
Supervisor, Miller.
And yeah, we definitely need to get a second quote on that roof because I was thinking 5,000 to 7,000 max.
Yeah.
I'm not in construction business, but it's not that big, but it's deplorable condition. So,
On the side, yeah.
might be worse.
All right. Well, we're gonna, anything else?
Yeah. Also, we looked at the water settling on the opposite side of the pavilion, between the pavilion and the building. The idea that was put forth was to concrete that area. It's where the pavilion, you have that little walkway that goes from the pavilion to the building. There's water settling there as well, and it's kind of washing away. Now, we were able to get a quote from Mr. Henry White. The quote for the material was $29,2486, and the quote for the labor was $2,900. But he did say that there may be a $10 increase per yard as far as the concrete. Once at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Robbie, if we had the gutters replaced on that pavilion,
Would you have to pour that concrete?
I mean, it holds water and it's in the shade and never can dry, but the problem is that pavilion's got no
I
gutters.
mean, whatever still comes off in the gutter is still gonna
But it
be
would
water
help.
in there. Huh?
But it would help.
It would help,
Yeah.
correct, but it still don't ever dry up. I mean, it's just a mud hole there all the time.
Could they put a box drain in there?
Well,
Probably do, you'd have to slope it all back, and the time you do that, put a box, put a pipe, clean and drain it out. Not pour concrete and run it out both ways, it's easier.
well, so. We'll try to,
We're gonna wait on the next estimate, or you wanna vote on the concrete?
well, I mean, cause how you plan on doing, because, a lot of stuff that we, I don't know, a lot of things, we already got things worked out that y'all wanna work on, we already got the bond already there. We have had everything, we have quotes, and as long as she got true quotes on stuff, I think we need to move forward with. doing some of the things that we need to do. I don't think we need to go.
You shouldn't have 2 quotes on either of those.
Yeah, the ones we have 2 quotes on, I think we can
Okay,
look at them and move forward.
okay.
And some of them, I mean, you know, what's the legal part, we need to just kind of look at them and move forward. That's my prerogative, I mean, what's the board prerogative?
I think we need to get this started.
Yeah, we need to move forward, cause I mean, coming down and,
Point where we ain't
the more we
gonna
wait, and then you get good weather days in the winter time right here now, so the days that we do have, people can actually go ahead and do the work, and by the time the summer comes, people can start back using the parks and the buildings, cause other than that, we're gonna have to shut them down for construction and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's 2,900, that's what she's saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Materials.
Materials, 2900,
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, though.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I would say materials and maintenance
it's
cost the
gonna be
same.
like,
Whatever they do, they can have materials the same.
But we need another quote on that concrete, don't we?
Yeah,
yeah,
On that and the,
in the building, yeah.
yes.
Now, the rodeo arena, we were able to get 2 quotes for the exterior, the repairs. We were trying to do, interior repairs. His first quote was for the actual arena. This is from Mr. Miles. He did, $54,710 he did them separate. The rodeo arena, for the concession stand, the interior walls, the bathrooms, and the press box. His total was $54,710. Mr. Dunn also submitted a bid as well. His overall total for everything, that was concession stands, interior, exterior, the bathroom remodel, and the press box, his overall total was $75,000. I think, with these 2 quotes, there's a difference in the material being used. I think with Mr. Miles, he's using wood siding, whereas with, Mr. Dunn, he's using sheetrock walls and, he's using the sheetrock and the sheetrock walls and everything.
Well, I know that was one of the things that we talked about. The quotes are different because I know that, and I was trying to get with Johnny to give with Mr. Miles to readjust his quote. I want concrete board, and that way we don't want to spend this money. It's a one-time money. You put plywood down another 5 to 10 years, it's rotting again. And I wish you could have got the concrete board with both quotes, and I think they're gonna be somewhere close because of the
Where's
different material.
Where's it gonna be at?
Yeah, rodeo arena. Everything outside, I just recommended to do it with concrete board. We won't have to do it again. If you do it with plywood, in the next 5 to 10 years, you got to redo it and might not have it.
And we
So,
just need to change the parameters for them and tell them we're gonna use concrete, but I think you're right on that.
Thank you.
all right.
Okay. Good morning, board. Just got a couple of things, just let you know, we're on the tornado watch now until 5 o'clock. So everybody be cautious. On that, we did receive our parts for our siren. I did get with Robbie. We're gonna try to, he said he got a guy that they know to use for limbs that has a bucket truck. We'll try to get with him, see his availability, so we try to get the siren fixed, out there in Cloverdale. But it still remains on the table. We still need to get one for our county, so my guys can actually, service all the sirens that we got. Make sure they're working properly, because if we're gonna have them, we need to make sure they're working. I try to tell people, that they down, but, people gotta understand that, they're mechanical, they'll fail at any time. So, that's why we push code red, make sure they got at least 3 ways, to receive any warnings on that.
Brad,
Right.
how many sirens do we have?
18. And, everybody know we got the only 2 certified guys in the state of Mississippi. And we don't try to broadcast that because a lot of counties are calling on us because they still rely on sirens. So, but we still do want to help people in our district. So, you know, with that vehicle, we're able to help our county, also our neighboring counties if they need, because it's all about saving lives. You know, everybody got family across these counties, things like that. We just want to be able to help everybody. On another note, we did have to open the warming shelter during those cold periods. With that, we was unable to get showers. You know, I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm gonna keep beating it. We got to find a way to get showers at the safe room. I've exhausted all means unless we want to do a community project. We buy the material and try to get some carpenters or electricians out in spare time to get plumbing, to help out to try to get something done because the school system, they was on vacation. Trying to get the keys, it was cold in the building. In the pool, they waterized their showers for the winter, so they shut all this stuff down, which put us in a dilemma. So I know Supervisor, you was working on.
I'm gonna work on that. We couldn't get anything, but do anything in December. Well, actually from a week before Thanksgiving, so I'll get back on that and see if I can get a quote on what they can do.
Okay, yeah, if not, then, you know, another option, like say, if the county purchased the material, we can try to get community or some inmates to try to help at least put something there. Because if we're going to continue to use that as a shelter, we got to have a place for these people to bathe, you know, so, take a shower.
And there's still the option of the architect who's working on Chester Willis baseball field. They're looking at some bathroom options there. They might be able to recommend something to put in place over there as well.
Yeah, like I said, we need to do a type of place, so we going into our severe weather season, back into hurricane season. And, you know, we want to make sure that when we open this, you know, we help our citizens out in the community that may need it, but they still need a place to take a shower. You know, you stay in a safe room over 3 days, it start getting bad. You know, so let's try to put that to the forefront.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Other than that, that's all I have. Pending questions on the board.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir, Supervisor.
I know we haven't even had a report on this. How's everything with this COVID? Because I'm hearing that the numbers are going back up. So what are you hearing?
Well, what you got is you got to look at, we're coming out of a season where everybody wearing masks. So now you got flu going around mixed with COVID, you know.
I just want the COVID numbers. I ain't worried about the flu.
There's pretty much no numbers they're tracking now because we don't receive that information no more.
Okay.
Yeah, so because it's not at a pandemic level threshold where people need to be concerned because we have a right number of people vaccinated to isolate that. We got a lot of things, they got a lot of cures, not cures, but preventive measures in place to stop it or suppress it in a community. So there's no more like community outbreaks and nothing like that. You know, what you're hearing is like the kids going to school and stuff like that. But if you want to continue to wear your mask, you can. You know, those are ones that, like I said, they got the booster shots out there, but they're still offering more boosters for ones who want that.
So are they still giving the tests?
Yeah, they're still doing the tests at the safe room, but you know, it's not. I think that contract ends in May, so I don't know if the health department's gonna renew Maverick, the ones that are doing the testing. So I think that may go away.
So it's amazing. We still doing the tests, but no results of what they come up with.
Right,
That's
because
kind of amazing to me, man.
well, the testing what they're doing ones and twos. So if you look at the equation, if 1 or 2 people have COVID, that's not what we was getting like maybe 50, 60 a day, where, you know, people need to panic or something like that. It's not at that state yet, so.
I understand that, Mr. Brad, but everything we do, we deal with data.
Right.
And if we giving tests, they should give us data. They should let us know we got 2 people in the community that have COVID, or we have how many have COVID. They giving tests with no data. So you got people out there thinking, like my voice changed, her voice changed, they got COVID. You understand what I'm saying? But you have no data. It's like all of a sudden now, it's not even important no more. But you still got a community of people sick.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Supervisor Gray, just like I say, at my level, yeah, that's a state level event, so we only get what they give us.
I understand.
All right.
Anything else?
I just, thank you, Brad, and we will be, moving forward. I know it's been kind of dragging our feet on a few things, and it's not because we're dragging our feet. Holidays came up and people got hard to do, but we will put those issues on the front line and take care of as a board.
I appreciate it.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Supervisor Gray.
I agree with, we need to handle issues, but, that issue should have been handled when they built the safe room. And now that we need showers, we in a hurry up mode to get the shower, and I hope when we do it right. And like you said about the arena, we don't put something up there and 4 years later, we going back and trying to do something else over there. So I hope we do it right the first time.
President Gaines, let me make a
Yes,
statement.
go ahead, Supervisor.
Supervisor Gray, when you say when they built that safe room, they should have put showers. When they built the safe room, I was here, it was a safe room built for people to move in and out, not to stay. And they said that showers was not supposed to be put in a safe room. It was, you come, you go, not stay overnight is the reason they didn't put them in. Scott, you can witness to this just as good too.
Big
Because,
argument about it.
yeah, there was a big argument about it,
I
and
said,
they say,
build
no, this
Build the
is
showers
not
while
for
building.
this. Yeah, but they couldn't do that because of the fact it was you come, you leave, no stay overnight. This just come about a couple of years ago about staying overnight. That was the whole idea.
But Mr. President, I'm saying, if we have 13-degree weather for 4 days, you can't come and just leave. You got to stay overnight if you ain't got nowhere else to go.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
that
Well-
wasn't the board's decision, that was doing, federal,
Yes.
guidelines, that's the way it was.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I know we, everything is a little different right now, and, things change. And, so we ain't can't fault nobody or whatever happened with the decision, but we're gonna do what it takes to move forward. We're gonna move forward with it, and,
We just need to reflect it.
yeah, it's reflected that it's under federal, almost, not
He's
sheriff.
not at fault, and he's not at fault. That's
Yeah, right.
that's what that
He was
was reflected.
It was not our fault,
Yeah.
it was,
I just
That
want
was-
to make a suggestion to you all in reference to the showers. And me and the sheriff in Concordia talk quite often, and he has a team of guys over there that are carpenters that can build and do pretty much anything. You see what they can do, it's amazing. So I would suggest just reaching out to him and asking if they can lend some help as far as the carpentry side of things with it, because he has a team over there. And when I say those guys are craftsmen, they are craftsmen. Just a suggestion.
We thank you, Sheriff, for giving us another option on
Yeah,
He got some plumbers over there,
he got everything.
so that's gonna be the hardest part of that, is laying the plumbing out. It's not real difficult, because they're just gonna run it off into the storm system.
If y'all want me to, I'll reach out to him and just ask him if you want me to. It's up to you all. I don't have a problem asking y'all.
Well,
Run the water line.
yes.
Yeah, we might make this a little bit of a community project, like was suggested earlier, and get that done.
all right, well, we'll get, moving, I guess, all the necessary parts that we need to get moving. I mean, if it's okay, if the sheriff can, reach out and ask, so he can get moving, if, we can reach out to the waterworks, I heard suggested. We can kind of move forward, because this is something that we actually need to get, it's coming up to. I mean, we out of hurricane season, but freezes and stuff happen, so if it's okay, Sheriff, if it's okay with the sheriff to reach out, we give him that permission? Okay.
I got one question about the outside of the, whatever we're gonna build, it's gonna have to match the, safe room, it's cinder block, isn't it? The safe room,
I think safe room is stucco.
is it stucco?
Is it right?
I think it's stuck over,
It's
yeah.
Cinco.
Yeah.
You block it, stuck over outside, you block it.
All right, we're gonna match it, or we're gonna put cement board on it, paint the same color either way. I guess it's gonna be a separate structure. Even if it don't want to be 8 or 10 feet away, it would be a separate structure.
Yes, sir. All right, well, next.
Good morning, board, and happy new year. I just had one thing, just dealing with the towers for the bus barns, for the maintenance barns, for to get internet out there. I spoke with their tower inspector, and he says, since it's 3 towers, it's gonna cost $1,500 a piece for him to do the inspection. This is for to get, internet at the road department location.
That's for time clock?
Yeah, for time clock. Yeah. And I just wanted your approval to move forward with the application process, because once I get that fee paid, we can move forward.
You heard the request, IT man?
So,
It's been moved by, Supervisor Hutchins, and second by Supervisor Gray. Move forward. Did you say $1,500 per spot?
Yeah, per spot, so that's a total of $4,500.
That's a total of $4,500 with, internet, so he can install the time clock at the, road department location. All right, all in favor? Use the sound.
I got a question. Go ahead, carry it on.
I can back up in discussion.
No, it's about something else.
Okay, all in favor? Vote by using sound aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right, Supervisor Gray.
Yes,
What?
now that alleviate the problem with the road department. What about all the other time clocks everywhere else? They working?
Yes, they are.
Or they
And
working?
they've been clocking in, and this is during the trial period. We're about to end it, and she'll go live soon, once we get the, access to the time clock program. And that will happen when Jill from Delta trains us on how to edit times and everything else, and that's when it'll go live, which is really.
So we looking at a time period, how long?
If we get training started, talk to Jill this week. I tried contacting her, but she's been out. But I'm estimating by the end of the month, we should be, after the training, we should be live if the training is.
Thank you.
All right, Supervisor Miller.
So at this point, every county employee has been fingerprinted and is entered in the system.
Yes, there's a few new ones that we have to get done because it has been
Right.
updated in the Delta system. But, once we go live, everyone will have access to internet information, such as HR will be able to, as soon as they come in, they get thumbprinted and be good to go.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Brandon?
Yes, I'm not sure if this should be discussed here, but, there are, I think there was 2 departments, that said they wasn't doing time clock with the elected officials. That was tax collector and tax assessor.
What do you mean they ain't gonna do it?
It's not an option,
Good an option.
so they can
Everybody
just,
got to do
Yeah,
it, except for
That's what I
elected
said.
officials.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an option. We said that last time.
they claim that they do have the option to do so.
No, they don't have an option.
Mr. Slover,
Yeah, elected
would you like to?
officials can opt out of any policies that the county does, but they have to file it in writing and with the chancery clerk's office.
Well, the only reason somebody wanna file out and not punching in, somebody must, I'm be like Deion Sanders, somebody must be stealing.
It is not optional that you record your timekeeping, that you follow with the labor laws. So time recording is federally required, and you have to do that.
Yeah.
So then you say to make your job easier if we had time clock set?
Yeah, I mean, it's much easier, and
So if an
me
employee,
and someone who sued companies before, because they messed up on their time, you know, we have had issues.
so let me just put this out here. And maybe y'all don't want me to put it out here, but I'm gonna tell the truth. So we done had people stealing time, we done had people doing any and every kind of thing. That is the reason we got one of the time clocks from the start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't wanna punch in? Everywhere you go almost in America, you punching in now. So what was the problem with punching in? Only people don't wanna punch in, you stealing.
Right.
Or you're not coming to work, or you don't want nobody to know it. Come on now, y'all, let's get with the program. It's 2023.
We're gonna move forward.
It's not an option.
Well, hold on. We can't, hold on. Legally, no, we can't.
Legally?
Legally, we cannot bind them to that. Am I correct? Hold on. I let everybody talk. Now, I'm gonna let you talk from this guy. Did you say or did you not say that elected official, we as a county can require other things, but as an elected official, they can opt out if they want to?
They can opt out of the timekeeping device, but they can
Opt
opt
out.
out of any department policies that the board prevents by filing and writing in her office. But they cannot opt out of keeping up with the time. That is required by federal law.
And that's what I'm
So if
saying.
they want to use their old method of doing it, they can do that. But they can't not keep up with time. That's federally law required.
We just have to audit them pretty often to make sure what they're doing is accurate.
Maybe we can
Well,
do
the
that.
Department of Labor certainly can.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
We need-
I'm not, I just wanna stay within the, operate within the law. I'm not Supervisor Gray, I don't have a problem, with time clocks, but I wanna operate within the law. And I heard what he said. Yes, sir, Supervisor Gray has the floor.
So my question is this. When you, as an elected official, say that you're gonna go along with our plan and you don't opt out, now all of a sudden we got time clocks and you wanna opt out? You remember when we put this option out there with the handbook or whatever the case may be, and if you don't wanna go by this personnel handbook, then as an elected official, you can what?
Yes, you can opt out.
Opt out.
And you can opt out of particular provisions.
Okay, well, I'm saying that to say this. How many opt out?
You have to chancellery clerk, if they file their response like they're supposed to with your office.
I haven't had anything filed,
Okay, ain't nobody opt out.
but it's
But now all
not,
of a sudden we got time clocks.
Has it been adopted in the
It's
policy?
not
They
been
wanna
adopted.
opt out.
but it's not been adopted in the handbook either. The
Yeah.
time clocks have not.
Once they're up and ready to
That's what I
go,
was saying.
that'll be one of the policies that y'all
Yeah,
adopt.
like that personnel policy.
This is gonna get real interesting, cause, here it is, actually an election year, and I kid y'all all the time about it being an election. It is an election year, and you're gonna tell everybody in the county that your employees don't have to report their time, they can do whatever they want, basically. I think that's really a bad policy.
They don't even come to this board and ask for more money, cause they ain't gonna get it.
All right, Sheriff.
I got a question on the time clock situation, because mine is unique and I didn't opt out. But all of my deputies get 10/8 all the time from all parts of the country. And it does create a unique situation for us. And so does the time clocks have something that's mobile that can be opted in to do? Because I'm telling you, I see what's coming with us.
Yeah.
I see what's coming with us.
For them
And if we responding from the house to an emergency, it's different trying to run to the building and clock in and then go to a call for it. Now, I'm not opting out at all, and I'm all for the time clocks, but our situation is very unique in how we get mobilized. And so that's why I'm asking, and that's why I've been asking, is there gonna be some kind of training or something that comes forward? Because they're in our building, our people, pretty much you got everybody except the new people, right?
Right.
And we for it, but it's a very unique situation that can be very costly.
Sheriff.
That's what I'm getting at.
Aren't there other departments in the state or anywhere around the city? I know you talk to all the other sheriffs.
I have an email out to all the sheriffs that I had sent out this morning, and it's crazy that y'all brought this up today, asking how many of them have time clocks. So I'm gonna be waiting on their responses. Now, with the court services, in the jail, and the admin, it wouldn't be a problem in the world with that. Because they come to a building and they hear from 8 to 5. But when you're talking narcotics and K9s and all these other people, that's a whole nother world.
I don't even believe, me personally, I don't believe no way that they can clock in. I'm just talking about the people that come in office with an 8 to 5
Okay.
job,
So
with an 8 to whatever job.
I'm good with that.
They need to clock in.
My appreciation of the software is that it's not just a draconian this, that, or the other. There's a ways for your department heads to adjust, even with the clock in, clock out situation. So if you call someone from work, that'd be something that whoever called them in should document that, and you can add it onto your timesheet as well.
And that's
So
what we
this is-
discussed in the beginning, that, you know, about 85% of the road department can clock in, but about the other 15% can't, and I mean, they can pretty much every day, but if call outs and things like that, somebody got to turn the time in anyhow.
Right.
Yeah.
We turn it in anyhow now, but I've got to decide, you know,
See, they gotta be
it's got to be
approved, right?
done and
Yeah,
approved
it
and
has to
turned
be
in.
approved and adjusted.
So it's gonna be the same, you know, pretty much the same thing, but on pretty much every day to day they can do it, other than call out,
So-
you know, something like that, or storm or
At the
whatever.
end of the day, Mr. President, Board, and I'm trying to save people jobs. But they on the clock, and they at Walmart, and they at all these places, and you think they on vacation, but they still on the clock. We can't do that, that's stealing y'all.
At the moment now, they call in and.
Yeah, they do that, and that's why I
Change.
say with the criminal side, that's where the problem will come in at. Before as courts, admin, jail staff, that wouldn't be a problem at all, because they come to the building anyway.
All right, well, we definitely gonna have some unique situations, and, as we go, get off the trial and error basis, we'll adjust them as necessary, if that's all right. Anything else, Brandon?
No, sir, that'll be all.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Next.
You caused enough trouble.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
We had 372 requests for service, 236 transports, which difference of 2 from last month to this month. It was a higher volume of calls, but it only went up by 2 actual transports. We did improve both city time and county response times. City time 7:45 with 89% compliance, and then county at 12:42 with 89%. So both of those improved. We continue to focus on that stuff and always try to drive a little bit further forward, not backwards. 62 refusals, 28 no patient contacts, which we consider false calls, which is the way I've listed it on the report. 7 canceled prior to arrival. We've doubled the number of site calls. It matches, that's normal for this time of year. The colder it gets, it puts more people inside. The more people you have inside the house, the more fighting you're gonna have and the more site calls you're gonna have. So we doubled them from November to December. 216 times we had multiple trucks on a single call in the county. Only flew 1 from the field. Hospital times continue to improve on the hospital wall delays. No members out sick. I did have an error on the sheet. I showed 1,203 total requests. The actual number there is 1,117. That was, I just didn't save the page this morning when I hit print. Like I said, the 911s are up. The employee of the year selected by their peers is Wes Weathers. He's our fleet guy. For those of you who haven't met him, you kind of miss him out. This dude can fix anything, but he's also an EMT. And he's a big old guy, so he goes out and he helps lift patients. So if we've got a heavy patient that's down, he actually goes out, uses the EMT side and helps pick them up. He does it with a smile on his face. And 9 out of 10 times, they're laughing when he walks out the door. So he's just got an all-around good attitude. His peers selected him, put him up. He was actually employee of the month in the first quarter and won the quarter as well. Then turned around and made employee of the year out of those selected. So that's gonna be the end of my report unless y'all have any questions for me.
All right, Tim, we thank you and appreciate the job you're doing. All right, next.
I'm here regarding the Adams County Home Grant. We finally have, this is an application we submitted back 18 months ago, back in 2000, it's a 21 grant, actually. But Adams County finally received a contract from, the City Home Corporation, sorry. So we got 5 homes in the application. These 5 homeowners have been approved. So what I'm here to do, Scott was reviewing the contract. I'm not sure if it's been executed yet or not.
It's not ready to board approval to do that.
Okay. And when and if y'all do that, and then I just need permission from the board to advertise for an attorney to do title opinions, asbestos inspector, and a surveyor. I can do that ad all in one ad of those 3.
Motion for all that? Motion to execute contract and advertise as needed.
For the attorney.
So, all right, we need a,
Second.
motion. It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Hutchins. To be able to execute on the contract and hire a lawyer, inspector, and
Advertise for.
And advertise
That's right.
to hire a lawyer, inspector, and what else?
Surveyor.
In the survey. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Then aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
That's all I have.
I'm glad.
Right.
We definitely gonna get together on that neighborhood drainage we looked at.
Yeah.
And maybe explore that PRA, that other option that we got.
Okay.
And if it's possible, I know it's raining. At the end of this week or next week, if we can get together, I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
All right?
All right, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
I'd like to thank y'all for giving me another opportunity to serve as county road manager for another year. First thing I have on my list today is, some EWPs I discussed with, a few supervisors. It's 12 sites, I just like to move it on, got to submit those by the 5th of this month, talk to them, and they gotta be turned in. 11 of those will be affected at county roads, and the other one is residential.
All right, you heard the request of the road manager. Need permission to submit the, EWP sites with 11 of them affecting our county roads. Can I get a motion? It's been moved by Supervisor Gray. Second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
On discussion, I had, can I get a copy of them?
I'll send them, matter of fact, I'll get her to email everybody a copy of all of one, but, and I'll get you one too. But, like I said, it was, it's 509 Brooklyn Drive, it's 4 of them on Churchill Road, Greenfield Road, 4 of them on Kingston Road, Liberty Road. And then, like I said, I had the Village Square one down here, so it's 11 without that one. But like I said, I guess we're on other avenues to try to correct that problem since it's water and sewer involved. Is that correct?
All right. All, discussion.
So all of these affect county limits.
Everyone affects County Road except the one, 509 Brooklyn Drive, and it is affecting the residents pretty bad. I mean, you know, it's right there at the back door.
Yeah.
That's
What is it, 501?
509 Brooklyn Drive.
That's the one.
It's off of well, it's on Morgantown Road.
Yeah, and, if not, Supervisor, I know that'll be in your area, but me and, the road manager went out there and looked. I think it actually had some drainage coming off the road, the drainage pipes had collapsed, and stuff like that, caused the heat out.
It is, it's
So we did.
storm drain coming off, the
Storm drain.
subdivision running right out beside the house and then goes right behind the house.
Yes. All right, we ready to vote? All in favor? You sign aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
I have a spoiled dirt request for 37 Pineview Drive. Philip Davis, you have it in front of you, Mr. Jennings, I think. I did put it up there, I don't know.
We got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So moved.
Second.
We had a motion, for their request has been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? No discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor says aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried, unanimous.
Alright, next thing I have is, Meg Freeman interviewing for the secretary for the Road Managers Association. Brought it before the board last time. Mr. Gray, you asked me to figure out about what it would cost per year to her to do that, since the county that they've selected from does pay their stay and stuff, and it's around $2,500 a year is what it costs to stay in the track. So I did check into that, just, you know, see give her permission to do it or not, you know, to interview for that position.
You say, that's what we gonna have to pay $25?
Correct.
And what is this $2,500 for?
To stay and travel, you know, for all the conferences, for the supervisor, the road managers conferences, be taking your minutes and keeping up with who's paid dues, who hasn't sent anything, you know, whatever. Like I said, keeping the minutes up.
Robert, could you, I'm just one supervisor, could you just give me to the next meeting to deal with that?
That's fine.
I figure out, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have.
This is for her interview?
Well, this is not the interview. If she's gonna go, they want her to interview this in Jackson, when we go up to Jackson.
So we've got time.
We got
That's what I'm
time.
getting at.
And they gonna let her interview, and then if she's selected, then this is what it would cost the
Oh,
county.
this just for the interview?
No,
Oh, this is for
there's nothing to
the
interview. She gonna do that on her own, stay her own night or whatever up there this time, when she goes to interview or do it for the day,
Oh,
whatever it may be. But if she is selected for this position, then we'll do it. And like I told her, there's no sense in going and then you get selected and then the board says no. So there's no sense in her wasting her time going to do it. You know what I'm saying? To get selected and then come back and the board says no. So I'd rather know if the board is gonna do it or not. If they're not gonna do it, there's no sense in her going.
When is the interview?
During our
Doing
conference.
our
During our
Oh, on
conference.
our conference,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
So we can do it
Next meeting.
Supervisor Gray asked for us.
Yeah, correct.
So we can do it next meeting.
Correct.
I hope she's compensated for that if she has that post, or is that just,
Say again.
would she be compensated for?
See, ours is different, like y'all association pays for
Clem.
Clem to go help sign people up and all. I mean, our dues is not what y'all's are, and they don't, it's not a lot of money and, you know, I guess, so, I know the other lady was doing it, their county paid for, you know, but she has been, now she's moved on to the road manager. Her road manager retired, so she was able to take his position, which I thought was a good thing. Okay, 4-year road plan, that's, I presented it before y'all, and I know, like you said, you got to ride and look, but I guess that's something that anytime we can add to it, you know, just, you know, something for us to start with. Then I did submit, some roads. One of them goes with the red book. The red book is just all the roads in Adams County. And then the other roads goes in the green book. And the green book will tell you if it's public, private, the length, the width, things like that, and when it was adopted and all of the green book does. But I give those copies to y'all too. JT, he's not. Got a little, we done EWP there on, Providence and River Terminal Road, and on that project, they put some water on an additional landowner. He called me over the holidays and went and looked, but it was on my punch list to correct when we done it, and Hayden has it, and he could email, but I thought he did some update on it today. Not here. Asphalt project, they did get started before the holidays. They got one road took care of. I've been back and forth this morning, with Mark Godfrey. Let's see. It says we have 2 crews in town. One is on State Park Road, we'll finish that job, then move to Tate Road. The other crew is on 61. When they get through there, they'll move to Woodville. They have a 3rd crew coming in, and it should be here Thursday, weather permitting. Once they get here, they'll start on Emerald Mound, is with that 3rd crew, is what Mark texted me this morning. And then I've got a meeting with him in the morning, just to make sure, you know, he can keep me updated on 2 or 3 right Adams County employees would have collected tickets to make sure we're staying within our budget on what roads and what equipment. Any questions?
President Davis.
Yes.
I just want to know, have we come up with a decision on what we're gonna do on South Palestine?
On South Palestine, Angela, I have not, it is still some good left to South Palestine. You know, taking it back, I looked at it, come before the board about taking it to gravel. At this point, I would rather not. I would rather wait and see if we can do something, maybe chip seal or something. You know, we can maybe try to do it as some kind of state aid project or something like that, you know, with, some money.
State aid project.
Or something that we can do, but that is a bad
That's a
road.
bad road.
It is a bad
When I
road.
say bad,
Like I said,
maybe let's look at that as a state aid project.
correct, so
It's
that's
hard.
where we at with that.
Yeah. I need you to call me tomorrow.
Ma'am,
I need you tomorrow to call me
that's fine.
with
Like I
me
said,
on that.
I'll have a meeting with, APAC first thing in the morning after
And
that,
then after
we'll
that.
do whatever.
Okay,
But,
that's fine.
I'll have a meeting with them and get a list of roads where they're starting, and how many, you know, what I guess.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right.
So, you need to interrupt me, go ahead.
Well, yeah, we need to interrupt for a minute. Metro's gonna call in, Robin.
Okay, well, I'm through with my report, if that's all y'all have for me.
No,
I'm
But
ready
with
for
that-
a closed determination.
I got it. What's up?
So moved.
You ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm good.
yeah, I need a motion for a closed determination. It's been moved by, Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Wilson. Ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, can we move forward, with Robin?
I just had a
Finish
question.
over Robin. You have to go ahead. Oh, you stand.
I know he's not here, so I know that your answer probably is, you don't know.
Robin Blake,
Yep.
I don't know. I thought about it too this morning.
So it was
I called
bad.
Kim. Yeah, we
It was bad over the holidays.
Yeah, a lot of it.
The pipes,
A lot of pipe, we lost the, other pipes, and the reason we lost them, like I said, I didn't pin them all down because thinking they were gonna go in and replace it, I'll do it, but we're gonna have to go back and I'm gonna pin them this time and just.
And then now all that's prohibiting us from building a structure around those to protect those
Correct.
siphon pipes.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's no sense in doing all that work if they're fixing to only change the pipes out, if they're gonna do it. And I hadn't heard a word, like I said, this deal here with, Mr. Allen owns a cell barn down there with that EWP, he called me. And like I said, they're engineers on that project too, so I was really hoping he would give me, could send him an email over the holidays and, was trying to get, to make sure that project would not erode that man, properly, so, but yeah, on Robin's Lake, I don't know, I can't give you an answer on that, guess the ball's still in their court, what they're gonna do, you know, they gave us a timeline, October 28th or whatever it was, I mean, here we are, January.
Scott, you hadn't heard anything on Robin's Lake lately, had you?
All right,
Any other questions?
yeah, well,
Okay, I'm gonna say mine here, out on the phone back there, Burke Road Bridge, and I was discussing it with Mr. Ford back there, hopefully we're not too far out, you know, on Burke Road Bridge, and we had mentioned about trying to get somebody to lift that old bridge and move it over and things like that, and move over, I don't know if it's gonna be long enough or whatever, we want to raise it up a little bit, the way that debris and how much water flows coming through there. So I did call the guy, just a while ago, and he's gonna meet me tomorrow and see what it would take to buy, the county buy a temporary bridge. I know Mr. Lloyd in the airport, coming in Artman Road, bought one personally for himself. He's gonna give me the guy's number, to hold 2 track hoses at one time on it, and also it'll be enough weight to do that. It might be cheaper to buy from him than we just try to pick that one and move it and add to it, so. But I'll have some more by the next board meeting, but I'm gonna meet the guy tomorrow on Burke Road about that, another bridge, you know, so we get.
Cause it's gotta be done regardless.
Correct, yeah, we gotta give them access one way or another, and it's the county's responsibility to do that. So whether it's buy one, move, try to get this and move or whatever, we're gonna see what's the cheapest route, but try to do that.
all right, thank you, next.
Good morning, board, and happy New Year to you all. Only a couple of things. We're gonna maybe requesting, reimbursement for the low water bridge, road site. But I need the board's, authorization to allow the board president to sign the document once it's prepared. And that's for the low water bridge, EWP site, the emergency project that was completed. We want to fill out the reimbursement, form for that county, for the county. We just need authorization to allow the board president to sign the document.
So we need a motion there? So you heard the request of the, engineer, take a motion?
So
Second. It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Wilson, giving me the permission to sign the, reimbursement form for low water bridge, in discussion. All in favor? Aye. Vote aye. Any opposed? They have the same right, motion carries unanimous.
Alright. And other two updates, the EWP that include Lincoln Heights, Magnolia Bluff 1 and 2, surveys complete, designs begin for those projects. Then once we get to a schematic, state, we'll schedule a meeting with NRCS, show them what our plan is, make sure they're okay with the design before we finalize it. That'll streamline that process of getting that project, constructed.
And Magnolia Bluffs has got worse. So they are, and Mike Green knows that. I've already discussed it with him, so I'm just letting you know, Mr. Ford, for these last few rains.
Okay. We may have to go look at it again, because I know we did survey before the rain, so we'll look at it again. And the last one is the striping on the project. We received notification that some more adjustments needed from state aid. We haven't received those comments back yet because they were closed down due to water pressure in Jackson. So I'm anticipating getting those comments back any day now. And so we'll try to get that, whatever these additional comments are addressed, and submit it back to them. Hopefully we get authorization within the next couple of weeks to advertise that project. So hopefully by the end of February, that project will at least begin started and hopefully complete. And now looking into those DRA grants for Village Square Road. Are there any questions for me? Anything like that?
Anybody have any questions for him, engineer? If not, go ahead. Supervisor.
Yes, also, I think I told you to look at, submitting to the Deerfield Bridge, the Deerfield project, their sewage stuff to DRA also.
Yes, sir. As well as we were doing that, DEQ submittal.
And also to DEQ.
I'm not sure if there are any updated documents that need to be submitted on the county as far as administration is concerned. If it is, I'll get Ms. Lewis to upload them, do the updated document, like anything with the audit or anything like that, needs to be updated. Just get her to do it. And I'll just be in contact with her. We have until the 31st this month to submit that grant application.
Okay. Thank you.
And just for the update, we did finally get the MDHS expected to send us our MDAH is expected to send us our environmental approval for Burke Road. So once we get that, we send it to the Corps of Engineers. It'll take a couple of weeks to get their approval, and then we'll have everything else except for the right of way, which I know is taking a good bit of time. Other than that, we'll be ready to go to.
Is everything else ready to go?
Like I just said, the environmental, MDAH, sorry. We're expecting that document approval that was submitted to them any day now. And then once we get that, we have to submit to the court.
When you talked to Randy about Morgantown, he had some questions about Burke Road, so I'm sure that'll probably get that worked out too.
That'll be fine. There's nothing else. I appreciate you all.
Mr. President,
Supervisor Gray.
Mr. Slow,
Sir.
when you discussed Morgantown Road and the MOU, and you said we had to finalize putting an engineer in place, which we did that today.
Yes,
What is the next step?
They told me to have George reach out to Randy, and there's supposed to be a kickoff meeting, but he thinks he can kind of get away from not have to do the kickoff meeting. And Randy said he would discuss with George what we need to do next.
The next thing typically after we get the engineer, the environmental portion of it, and so that project has already been designed. We just have to see what will MDOT accept as far as the environmental, because it's also been more than 3 years, so usually ask us to do a reassessment of the environmental, which doesn't take as long as the previous version of it. So I just have to give Mr. Dickens and see what MDOT wants to do, and with the project being designed, which stage they want to start. That'll be already discussed, how they want to do the kickoff meeting and all that stuff.
So this is January, what time are we looking at? I don't want to be coming up in February asking the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's something I can reach out to Mr. Dickinson now that we've been selected as an engineer, and he'll be able to provide that, and I can get that information to you at the next board meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ford, and it is a very good sense of urgency, and I know you know, trying to get started, I know, it's gonna be a mess, but it's been a long time coming, so, you know, the sooner we can get started on Morgantown will be the better. Thank you.
And we should know more too about the other grant project with Morgantown Road. We're supposed to have the contract either late last week or early this week, to my knowledge. We didn't get it, but I can check with James to see if he's received it. So working on it from both ends.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Ready to move forward, go to step 2. I got a letter from Corvette while ago, it's not just here to Ricky, it's moving forward.
One of the things I've already done is asked Paige to give me a little excerpt of Supervisor Gaines being appointed the new president. That'll be something that they'll also want for their records, so.
Okay. All right, next. Departmental report.
Ask of no week. Morning, board.
Good morning.
Congratulations, Supervisor Gaines on being selected board president and Supervisor Wilson on being selected board vice president. The first thing I want to do is, one, tell you all Happy New Year, but two, want to start off with the trash reports for this month. And they are low. They are low because holidays and judges and everybody transitioning officers, so we've been putting in a lot of manpower in other places. But they are low this month. District 1, 7 bags. District 2, 15. District 3, 0 bags. We're starting your district today though, in the rain. I promise you, we're starting in the rain today in your district. District 4, 38 bags, and District 5, 45 bags. And we have been helping a lot of people out. We have been helping a lot of people out during all these different transitions. So I appreciate you all's patience, but they are back at it again today. I want to give you all a new, President Gaines is gonna want to update on Project NOLA, so they are still working on it. Talked to the guys this morning, and they will be here Friday with 4 new pole cams to install in different locations. And they will set up other dates from there on to keep installing their projects included.
And Sheriff, I know we was on schedule for like 21 before we added. So, you know, you said 4 more. You know, how many they installed at first?
I don't know how many they got up. I know they got several, because I've been talking, but I don't know the exact number. So I'll get that for you.
Yeah, just trying to see if we around the halfway mark or, you know, once, I know the weather and stuff like that, but the sooner the better, you know.
They rolling up. People happy
to see them.
Where you going up there? People are happy about it. They're happy about it.
All right.
And just so y'all know, just in case you all want to see how they work, see them in action, Adams County Sheriff's Office will actually be on national TV tonight. On what's the thing, Chief?
ID channel.
ID channel tonight. I think around 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. 7 o'clock, and they're actually featured on the case that happened over in Jones County where one of the higher ranking officers, their son was murdered. We ended up catching him over here. They Investigation Discovery actually did a TV show about that. So if you want to see what Project NOLA can do, take time to watch that tonight if you can on ID channel.
What's the channel on DirecTV, y'all know? I think I watched the last one.
Yeah, the last one had
Already.
with PD, NPD
Oh,
was
so
on
it's
the last
different.
one. Yeah, NPD was on the last one. I thought that was gonna be the sheriff's office, but the sheriff's office is gonna be on the one tonight.
Do y'all know the channels?
On this network, I know it's 192.
192?
Yes, ID, it's Investigation Discovery. I don't know what it is on.
I found it some kind of way. I don't know if y'all left the channel number on there. I don't remember.
Yeah, if you just Google, the rate it pulled up. I also just want to remind you all, I know y'all be wanting to see reimbursements and things. I did email all of you all the reimbursement for VOCA, so I hope you all got that as well. Now, Scott, I don't know if I need permission from the board. I guess I don't, since it's not a contract or anything being issued, but I went to one of the conferences and I've been seeing this doctor over time who's always talking about wellness and mental health. He's about to give the sheriff's office a $15,000 app for free with no strings attached, no money or anything like that. Only thing he wants me to do is give him my endorsement behind the app, and the app is loaded with stuff. It's loaded with stuff for mental health, for physical, financial, leadership, marriage advice, it connects you to all these different resources, retirement planning, and just for the overall person. It's not just a one-stop shop app type deal. It has probably about 30 different things that they're gonna be putting into it, but I'll let you all know when it debuts, because maybe the rest of the county might want to look at for the rest of the employees, because it is certainly not just geared towards law enforcement. We had several people retire over this last month. As you all know, the head cook, Ms. Dukes, retired. If you don't know, she's been a cook for like 14 years at the sheriff's office. I think she's been cooking for almost 28, 29 years. We had Lieutenant Bush, who is one of our most seasoned investigators. He's retired after 30 years of service. He retired as well. And there's one more who retired, Miss Jackie Dennis. Miss Jackie Dennis out of our front office. She retired as well. Yeah, so we've had quite a few transition into retirement, not to another job, but into retirement. And so that's what brings up the next thing that I'm bringing up. We do have some new hires that I need to present, but in the new hires, I guess we can start there, Supervisor Game, President Game. You got it?
I don't know.
Okay, well, it's just 3 new hires. It's just 3 new hires, but I'll just go ahead and just put it all out there.
You can put it out there, we good, I'm trying to divide them right now.
Okay, well, what I want to tell you all is, what I'm about to present as far as raises and stuff like that is strictly within the budget. It is no new positions, and this is strictly people being moved in positions from people who are already gone. I hadn't created no positions or anything like that. This is all within the approved budget. I want to make sure that that's said, because I don't want y'all to think that I'm trying to do something that you all are standing against at this time. For instance, you let me know when you're ready to supervise.
I got your 3 new hires right there.
Okay. The 3 new hires, the first 2 is going to be Lacuria Adams and Cleophas Robertson in the jail. And both of these 2 have experience in corrections already. They work at prisons, and I know that's one of the requirements that the board actually we honor, and I don't have a problem doing this. And so that's why the pay rate is what it is at $13.39. The next one, Brittany Denard, she will be replacing, she will be filling the position that Jackie Dennis had in the front office. That's actually a lower rate of pay than what we were paying Jackie, because Jackie had so many years of service. And so those are the 3 new hires, and her rate of pay is $17 an hour.
Well, you heard the request from the sheriff. Can I get a motion to hire these 3, Cleophas Robertson at $13.23 an hour, Lacuria Adams at $13.23 an hour, and Brittany Denard at $17 an hour.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? Y'all ready to vote? All in favor says aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
At that rate, it is in the budget.
Yeah, it's in the budget, we don't.
And Chief Daugherty just brought up something else too as well. He wanted me to make sure that I let you all know that we currently still, even after that, we still have a position open in the jail and 2 on patrol. And he reminded me that we may be losing 2 to MHP because they're doing polygraphs this week as well. Polygraph. So I'm just giving you all an update so you'll know where we stand staffing wise. And Supervisor Gray, while he was gone, I was letting the board know that nothing that I've requested or am requesting is new. And it's always in the budget. I'm not creating any new positions or anything like that. We're filling positions that we haven't filled over the last couple of months. And then especially with this last month, with 3 that retired on it.
Keep promises.
I'm making promises that that is not the case. So the next thing I have is I am asking for these rates to change for these people. Ms. Duke retired, and so I'm asking for Ms. Rhonda Anderson to be moved to a full-time instead of a part-time position because we lost our full-time cook at Sheriff's office. She's gone. And so Ms. Rhonda Anderson has been working part-time for years at the Sheriff's office, so I'm asking for her to transition into that full-time spot at $15.44 an hour. We still have.
I heard the request of the sheriff.
So moved.
Can I get a motion? I have a motion by Supervisor Gray. Second by Supervisor Hutchins to hire Rhonda Murray at $15.44 an hour. Any discussion? We're ready to vote. All in favor, use the sign of aye.
All right.
Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
The next one is Alexis Bass. Right now, I still have a shift that don't even have a corporal or a sergeant on it at all. And it's because we've been getting new people in and training. She's also on our field training office now. And so so I'm asking that she be moved to corporal on one of the shifts that doesn't have one. And like I said, it's all in budget at $17.91 an hour.
You heard the request of the sheriff. Can I get a motion? Been moved by Supervisor
Second.
Gray, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor? Vote by using sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
On Rustin Calvin, like I said, Lieutenant E. Lane Bush, our most seasoned investigator, had left, and he was in a lieutenant's position. And now that he's gone, Rustin Calvin, he's pretty much our cyber crimes unit by himself. And I'm asking that his pay rate change to what Lieutenant Bush's was at because he's taking on investigations, he's doing all the cyber stuff, and he's working with Chief Neely now, learning the IT stuff because Chief Neely this is his last year. He's already gave me a year's notice that after election year, he's going off to retirement. So I'm asking that Rustin Calvin be moved over to that pay slot that Lieutenant D. Lane Bush was at $22.05 an hour.
There's a motion. It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Wilson that Russell Calvin be moved in the title of Lieutenant Investigation at the salary of $22.05 an hour. In discussion. You ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
With Eric Freeman, what I was trying to do with him is since I didn't use all of Jackie Dennis's salary, I wanted to just make sure everybody was paid evenly in my front office so that there's no pay parity. So that's why I was trying to move him to $17 an hour from $16. And that's with me bringing in the newest person at a lower pay rate than I did the one who's leaving.
You heard the request of the sheriff?
No increase.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray.
No increase, Scott.
Second by Supervisor Wilson to hire Jerry Freeman, at $17 an hour. Any discussion?
Hey.
We'll get him in a second. Supervisor Wilson.
These next three here.
Oh, I don't care. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? They have the same right. Motion carried now.
Michael Hunt, Brianna Mayberry, Willie Stroud, we hired him in at $16.01. They did not get full their salary because they had to go through our 6 months of training. So they completed police academy and they went through our 6 months of their training that we do now as well. And so I'm asking that they be moved up to the normal rate, which is 16 days on.
You heard the request of the sheriff? Been moved by Supervisor Wilson and moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Wilson to move Brianna Mayberry, Michael Hunt, and Willie Stroud to $16.01. Any discussion?
And
Ready to vote, all in favor, you say aye. Aye. Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
And the last one I have is the only little court spot that I had that was unfilled, and that's with Christopher Swashire. So I'm trying to get him in that slot forward, which he's up to his league. But AHP. I had 1791 to now. That's it for that.
You heard the motion's been moved by Supervisor, Middleton, and second by Supervisor Gray to move Christopher Swashire to 1791 Iowa, title being corporate, end of discussion. No discussion, ready to vote, all in favor, use the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay, have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
And you know, the law allows Lieutenant Bush to purchase his service weapons since he retired, 30 years. I had a letter here in the check for them to do that, to give to Hugh Scott of the Grand Boots. And this board's approval for that as well, for them to be purchasing service weapons.
You heard the motion? And the motion, it's been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Gray, what's that?
Lieutenant Elaine Bush.
Lieutenant Elaine Bush.
Elaine Bush.
Service weapon. All right, any discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
Attorney Scott Slover called me over there, I guess the house, don't bring it up? Okay, all right. Well, it's just good to see Scott. I'll leave that.
We do need to, do our quarterly appropriations to the various offices. We did the financial report, don't think we did the appropriations.
We did this.
You did both of them in the same motion, okay, never mind.
State department.
Sure.
I got it done.
Malone?
Yes, sir, move forward.
The last thing I have is that I just want you all and the rest of the county to keep Wilson County and Sheriff's Office down with in prayer. As you know, Ms. Patricia Delaney was a staple down in the Sheriff's Office in Wilson County. And it's my understanding that she passed away on last night. So I know everybody down there at the Sheriff's Office hard to pretty get it down there. And she's been there long as Sheriff Jackson. Just want to make that note. That's all I have.
All right, we appreciate it, Sheriff.
Thank y'all.
No, we had to do it on the month, that's gonna be executive. Okay. Any public comment?
Well, good afternoon, board. I know everybody's ready for lunch, so I'll make it short and sweet. Happy New Year, everybody. Congratulations, board president there. For the ones that don't know me, my name is Doug Atkins. I'm a local resident of Adams County. I just wanted to come today and introduce myself to the ones that don't know me. I've been in the waste hauling business for 15 years, served under two of the biggest companies, and I got my training and knowledge from those companies. I started a company 5 years ago, Hometown Waste. You know, it's for the fact of having local residents working and putting work in counties and parishes. We currently service 2 parishes across the river. So I'm just here to say that I'm gonna stand by the county side whatever happens. I don't want you guys to go through any kind of gray area where there's nobody servicing you. So until you get your contracts in line and ready to bid, we're here to help however we can and whenever we can. I do have a big enough team to support the county and getting more equipment for the work. So if anything, I can give my numbers out to the ones that don't have it. Any questions or concerns, I do live here in Adams County. I don't want to see anything not get serviced on behalf of the county. So,
I appreciate that, coming from this supervisor, I really appreciate that. That you coming forth in office and serve.
I'm gonna be working close with the sheriff as well. I've kind of got a program across the river, I work very close with the sheriff over there. Just making sure our communities get serviced
You know, we're not a big corporation, we're local people that wanna do a job and go home, so. Thank y'all for the opportunity for anything that comes up, and if y'all have any questions or anything, just let me know.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll come to the table. Supervisor Gray.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I just wanna, congratulate Judge Simmons on her retirement. I already congratulate, excuse me, about the Brown. Do we have a proclamation for Mr. Elwood Knight that turned 103 years old, finished?
I think there's one in court, some in Corvettes office.
Is it correct this time? Because we had some errors on it last time, and it need to be correct, and everybody got to sign it again.
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, they had him up at the top for 103 and at the bottom for 100. So he's 103 years old. Sure. Thank you. Got the Market Town updates. And, since this is the first meeting, I'm not gonna bring up nothing about no scholarship, but, y'all know we gonna, continue to, give some scholarships out in name of the county. So be ready to, donate your $100. Robbie. Yeah, this, Southview, Mr. Attorney, could you, tell us about Southview Drive?
Yes. Got permission from the state to go ahead and repair or do what we need to on Southview Road. I don't see Robbie, who's not in here. I got the letter that I'll hand over to you, Ricky. There's a program where if you have to do maintenance on a property owned by the state due to tax, non-payment of taxes, you can clean it and seek reimbursement from the state. They will not grant us the property for fixing it though, because all we're gonna do is put it back up for sale and get back into the market. I presume that, Ricky, if we wanted to do something like make a park out of it or whatever, they probably would then hand us over the property. But I don't know about you, just that it's at the end of the cul-de-sac, I don't see that as being something that people would want. But you tell me, it's your community. If you wanted to make a park, we could, I just felt like you see
It's
that.
at the end of a road, I don't think it'll be a good idea for a park, but it do need to be cleaned up.
So we can do that. We got permission to do it. We will submit our costs to the state for reimbursement. And the statute provides that the usually would make that request for reimbursement. I'll be careful with it after Rocky's done.
Okay, while I got your attention, Mr. Chairman, could you tell us what's gonna happen on January the 17th at our next meeting dealing with Great River and the Public Service Commission?
Yes, to be clear, just because there's a lot of great rivers out there, this is the water provider that has come into the state of Mississippi. They purchased several different water systems across the state, and they've asked for rate increases across the state. One of those rate increases includes Adams County, and we have invited the Mississippi Public Service Commission, and they in turn invited Great River to come to our meeting and explain the reason for those rate increases. Our particular water system is that the city of Natchez provides both the water and the sewer, if I'm not mistaken. And they are a meter pass-through for the company. And so we want to show that to Great River that they are pass-through, that they have a rate with the city of Natchez, and there is a little bit of a bump when you're rating what they do, but they are not having a complete water system in this case. We invite and really strongly encourage all residents to show up at this meeting and express their concern, because the Public Service Commissioner will be here, and we want to show them that this is not something that is not a big deal for us. We have water increase, rate increase is a big deal for those residents. particularly with inflation, with the value of the dollar and all that, people are doing all they can. A lot of fixed income people on that. And so we want to show that there's, very, very high concern about those water increases, rate increases. And also they can ask questions and the company will be able to answer those questions as to what they plan to do with the water system, upgrades that they propose to make and so forth.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And, did we get our audit?
The audit has been submitted to the state. Did they report back to the state?
You're not responsible, I can say that.
Okay.
Typically, we get them back within a few weeks. We probably should have gotten it back, except you wonder with the holidays being it is, maybe they haven't gotten back into it.
I'll email Simpson.
I was gonna say that, but Brandy will email Simpson and find out where we're at on that.
Okay.
That'll get us up to date as fast as we've ever been since I've been on board with our audits, so that's really great news.
Thank you. And last, just wanted to say that I really was caught off guard this morning with the county administrator. I had no idea what was going on. And I know we done had some problems with not all, but quite a few of our employees. And I just was caught off guard because of the magnitude of the work that we put on this young lady from being the county administrator to trying to be a human resource person, and they was out / comptroller and had 2 other people out in that office, and she still did all that work. And I understand ain't nothing perfect, ain't nobody perfect, and people make mistakes. But me personally, I just was caught off guard with what happened with that. And I don't know, man, with what's going on in this world, they got me reading the word a little bit more, Sheriff. And we will never have peace, we will never have joy until we realize there is a plan in place by God, and we need to figure out what the plan is and follow the plan. Because guess what? We all going in all different directions. And we need to get on the same page in order to make this county. We got one of the best counties, we got the #1 county, but we need to get on the same page. And we need to have a plan. See, when I call a play for the wide receiver to go out, if I don't tell him what route to run, he gonna run any route he can, and we not gonna get on the same play. So we need to know the route. The county supervisors need to tell the people the plan of where we need to make a plan. And then we need to submit the plan to them, or they need to be part of the planning process. That's just my opinion. With this ARP money, it's 2023, I'm gonna say this. NAACP came to us with a great proposal, and I've been getting some calls, somebody in West District, a couple people in my district about the SNAP grant. Now they done changed what you can do with the SNAP grant. You can't fix floors no more. When somebody floors are rotten, you can't fix that no more. So my thing is, we all have people in our area that need help. 5 districts, you got a whole lot of people need help. And NACO is having a big housing conference when we go to Washington, D.C., so we know it's a serious problem with housing. What I'm asking this board to do at the next board meeting, me personally, we need to negotiate it, but I think we need $50,000 for each district. That might help 4 people in district, four people in each district to get their house where it needs to be. And I'm not talking about these low-income people. And if you look at the criteria say they make under $23,000 a year with 2 people in the house. They make under $28,000 with 3 people in the house. They make under $30,000. So The game plan was to submit it. We don't hold no money. We submit the money to Southwest Planning just like the SNAP grant. They go through the application process. Once they go through the application process, everything going through Southwest Planning, not us. We just put enough money to help these people that really need some help. And last, man, this listing got long. There's a lot of people in left the shop. First, I'm gonna start out with the football player. They kind of hit everybody last night when this guy made a tackle, got up, and fell back down and couldn't breathe. And they had to postpone the game. So, you know, we're gonna be praying for his family. And I think the whole world is praying for him. But my sympathy goes out to the Bacon, the Dickin, the Thompson, the Washington, the Miner, the Caradine, the Reed, and all the one, Valencia Hall lost her mom, the Knights, the Williams, the Smith, the Harris, the Champ, the Jackson, the Green, the Smoot, the Washington, and the Delaney family from Woodford that the sheriff brought to our attention. I had a guy I went to school with right before Christmas. He lived on George F. West, and his house burned completely up. He lost everything. His name is Michael Jackson. And I think the city has a GoFundMe fund. If you want to donate and help him out, you can do that. If you want to do it individually, you can do that too. His name is Michael Jackson. The Ross family, the Brown family, the Bailey family, and the Clayton family. And I know y'all probably been watching the news, and the young man that's from Mississippi worked with the Fulton County Sheriff Department, lost his life. He got killed in the line of duty. And I'm saying all this to get to a point. And the cashier at Dollar General store got shot during an armed robbery. We live in a world now where people are doing any and everything, and ain't nobody safe. And at the end of the day, we need to pray, y'all, because it's getting bad. And I think I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and we got to make an appointment for the county prosecutor.
Yes, sir.
So I conclude my report. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna bring that up too about appointment for the county prosecutor. I also, want to congratulate, Ms. Carmen Brooks, being elected to the circuit court judge.
And I think it's Drake too. I'm
Drake.
sure you said that.
Brooks
She's always
Drake.
Carmen
Brooks Drake. That's what it is.
Judge Drake.
Yes, so that I want to congratulate on her on that. That's a big stepping stone for her. Another thing is we need to make sure that Quebec sent out, applications to all schools for the MAS, MC, and county scholarships. So we need to make sure that go out to all schools because I think there's a deadline of April on that. So, Randy, I guess we can get together and make sure all that is taken care of. I do want to send out prayers to Jamar family and his family for what happened last night. That was shocking. That's something you never seen in football. You know, you always see something, broken bones or ACL torn or something like that, but never someone to just pass out and need CPR on the field. Now last have to take them off like that. That's just great that everything be okay with him. And I think I brought that up, and that's all I have.
Okay, I'm sure everybody has got calls about the garbage. It's getting pretty bad. And I'd like to thank the people that called me and said that they'd be willing to help out with Doug Atkins with Hometown, and the people at US Loan said that it got too bad and they jump in and help. They certainly do it. This is all time of year for them. So I appreciate those people doing that. I went by and picked up some people's garbage myself. It's headed to my dumpster, why not? You know, trash gets scattered all over the place. And a lot of people have been calling about potholes all over the county, and because of the severe cold weather we had and ice, you know, that's just, I know Robbie and them get on that. And if people don't let us know about it, there's no way we can know about it, so that I don't have a problem with anybody calling me. I had a person text me during Christmas, and I should have responded to this different. I should have thought about it a little bit, Ricky. But the text was, why does the road department get 2 weeks off? Is this paid leave? None of my jobs ever gave me any time off during Christmas. So I immediately got mad. And my response was, did your job ever require you to work nights, weekends, and holidays in the most dangerous conditions known to man? I mean, we lose a lot of people in this country flagging traffic and working in those kind of conditions. And these people chose to take their vacation during Christmas, and they're still on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even during the holidays. They were called out a couple of times during that vacation time. Now, that was my response. I could have curtailed it just a little bit, or maybe been a little nicer about it. It just kind of made me mad. Cause I know how hard those guys work, and they keep us where we're at. If they don't do their job, we'd be looking for another job. I'm sure you're up here.
Supervisor Wilson, you explained it just right, because they do not take the holidays off that we are giving, that the other county employees are giving. They work those holidays, and that for the Christmas holiday substitute for the holidays they don't take off.
I've been out there removing trees out of the road and stuff and cars backed up, and I'm sure you have too, Mr. James. And when you open that lane up, road up, you will get run over, and nobody's saying thank you. They're just blowing by you, and it is dangerous, very dangerous out there. But with that being said, thank you, Robbie, and thank you, all you guys. Also had a lot of calls during that cold weather about the gas plant, Pinnacle's gas plant down there in Kingston. And this has been an ongoing problem. Every time it gets really cold, everybody's turning the thermostats up, and the surge going into that pipeline, they just can't handle it. So a guy called me, a local resident. He was actually in Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. He said it was minus 38 degrees below zero. They have the same kind of plant, basically working all over the place, and they're fine. So he came and met me Friday, last Friday, with some people from Pinnacle at that plant, and they've got a plan worked out where maybe they can take the influx of more gas trying to come in there and the surge that it takes to fill all those lines back up there. It's just such a drawdown when they turn everything on that they need a little bit more capacity. So I think they got that worked out, and they're gonna start working on that within the next week or two. So hopefully the people in Kingston, one lady called me and said it was 41 degrees in her house. And because her gas was off, her stove wouldn't work, her water heater wouldn't work. So there's a lot of people out there, when older people get that cold, they could die. And I'm surprised that we didn't lose anybody, but it is something that's gonna be worked on. Let's see, anything else here? I think I'm good there.
Yeah, Mr. President, legally, those days off are set by statute. You have to give them the days off paid leave, and they actually work on it and incur comp time. So if they didn't, we'd have to pay them the holiday pay. So you don't have any choice, even if you did want to give them, which this board certainly does.
I probably should have took a breath. I should have consulted my lawyer.
Legally, on
the attorney.
And then too, by law, the supervisor cannot work the county roads. That's set by law. So sure. If someone comes arrest you for it, then.
Well, so be it. I got an installment out there on Liberty Road last year, and I had trees behind me, trees in front of me. The road department was trying to work their way in. I had a dozer, so, and a chainsaw, so we cleared the road. And we met the county at the other end.
You good guys.
Didn't warn.
You didn't do that. You guys did.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like this.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Supervisor.
Yeah, I can assure you that, it's really easy to sit at home and make those kind of comments and calls, but I can assure you those people aren't, underneath Burke Road Bridge and waist deep water when it's 50 degrees, on 36 hours away, removing debris, and, that happened twice that day that bridge was impassable, so, I've touched on that on social media and, whatever. Only thing I want to touch on, we did have a meeting last month, the sheriff, myself, Supervisor, President Gaines, and, Mr. Slover about, with Concordia Parish. They are housing some inmates now for us. They seem to be working pretty good on that. We did talk to them about the possibility of doing more. They're open to the idea. It's just a lot of moving parts, figuring out how to make it work. So this is still open for discussion and still something I think we need to touch on moving forward. But we got a few fires to put out in the meantime. So that meeting went well, and I want to thank them for helping us right now with these 10 or 11 that they have. It seems to help the sheriff out a lot. So, but there's more opportunity there, the way I see it. So that's all I have.
All right. Deputy Clerk Paige Dean.
I don't have anything.
She have a report. Deputy Clerk Randy Lewis.
I have a couple of things. Unfortunately, we had another unclaimed body here in Adams County. We worked with Riverwood Memorial on the cremation, and so we have the form. We had to post for 5 days. We did that. After the 5 days, no one came forward for this gentleman, so we need to have the agreement with Riverwood as well as payment to them for the housing and the cremation. It is $540. So you need to have those students approved, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion? It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, use sound aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
I need to have the tax redemption settlement statement for November 2022, spread across the minutes, please.
You heard it, Chancellor Clerk. It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
The board had previously approved for the scanning contract. This was included in there. We went ahead and just took it out for the time being. It was for the Spanish records, so I'm actually going to pay for this out of clearing. It's not coming out of county funds. But they sent over an amended contract just due to inflation. The number had changed a little bit, so I just thought it'd be best to put that on minutes, even though this was actually approved as part of the original contract, just because the amendments changed. So you have that spread, the amended agreement spread.
Okay, so you heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion? It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson. Second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor, use aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
After talking with Scott and Paige, and I've had this discussion too, in order to keep everything clean, we decided to, of course, the board's okay with us, start putting the policies and insurance on minutes. That way, when we're going to search for things, we're not having to search a separate folder or separate, what have you, that everything will be comprehensive on the minutes. So if the board is okay with that, this is the first one we received on renewal to the board. Are y'all okay with us starting to put these on the minutes just so that everything's in one spot when we're trying to search for things?
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion? Been moved by Supervisor Wilson, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, use aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any that same right, motion carried unanimously.
I did just hear back from Mr. Goodman, as we suspected, and I think Mr. Slater stated. They have not heard anything back from state audit in 2021. They hope to hear back from them soon, probably a little bit of a backup for the holidays. So he said they would keep us posted, as they always do. I figured if I had heard from them, they had heard from the state. Just another FYI, we did get an education from the state auditor that now all audit contracts will be DocuSign. We still will print one off for the minutes, but, the president and myself, I think it's each of us, or any time administrator, you will have to sign on that on the DocuSign for your computer now. So just a kind of a change in how their protocols are gonna work, just an FYI. Then also just want to bring this back up to the board. I don't know if y'all had any more time to think about the appointment to the Mississippi Regional Housing Authority. Just have that in the folder to bring back.
All right, and the report, well, we need to kind of look around for somebody for the appointment for the Mississippi Housing Authority, so hopefully by the next meeting, we can probably check with a few people to come on.
What do they do?
Good.
I can get further clarification from, I'm trying to think of the lady's name I spoke with. I will shoot her an email and kind of ask her to give me a little bit more guidance as to how kind of how the process works. And then I'll just forward an email to the whole board about what she was asking for. So, okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, Attorney Sasso.
Yes. We do have a vacancy in the county, and it's technically the county attorney's job, non-technical court attorney. Do you all want to discuss that in executive session, or do you want to have a path going forward now, just to make sure we get that handled for the next? We set a special call meeting for that. How do we want to?
Is that executive session material?
If you want to hire a county employee, yeah, internal employee, if you want to do that. There's my, we'll talk about it then.
Have some discussion.
Same thing with purchasing clerk, I want to chat about path moving forward with that. Under the law, administrator appoints, this board affirms that appointment or denies it. We're going to talk about that as well. I need permission to look for bids for some equipment. We've got, I know a tractor that's 75,000, here it is, okay. 300. Now, I just got back from Betty, she's in line. It told how much we're looking for.
What this is a road tractor, y'all need permission from me to get 2 tractors, 2 bush hog, 1 tractor and 1 bush hog that's $580. Has received the other tractor or bush hog, one that made it to go miles. That's what.
The financing would not exceed $650,000. I'm gonna start looking for 2 bids on that. Move forward. So I need permission to solicit bids for that?
Heard the attorney. It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Middleton to solicit bids for road department equipment. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nays, that same right, motion carried unanimously.
And then we'll have that item to determine later on. What we've been talking about before. Kindly reminder for those of you, a lot of you have business that you handle in the circuit clerk's office, get that done. So make sure you do that.
Yeah, maybe you don't know.
Yeah.
Election business.
All right, well, I had something here on, there's 2 estimates here. Anybody know anything about them? On trucks, on SUV, 4x4 crew cab, 5.6,
Look at one. This is an enterprise.
it's an Enterprise.
This those quotes for rigging out those vehicles.
No,
That's not good anymore, huh?
Is it from Enterprise?
Yeah. It's from Enterprise.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, it was just sitting there, I don't know.
Oh, that might be old.
Yeah, it might be off, it's not in mind.
Oh, they counted, did something different, so.
All right, we got, this is proclamation that need to be signed by everybody. That was from the local emergency from, Robert Bradford.
So moved.
Can I get a motion to sign the proclamation? It's been moved by, Supervisor Mills and second by, Supervisor Hudson. All in favor? Aye. Yes. Ain't that thing right? All right. All right, next thing, in the fund, we got county prosecutor, I have 6 people that interested. I don't actually know too much about the prosecutor.
This is proclamation
Right here.
from Mr.
No, this
No.
is
Emergency.
emergency.
That's emergency from,
He ain't got to it yet.
I ain't got that, that's emergency. Yeah.
In fact, let's do that. Sorry.
How can we, have this on the interview or, I don't know.
You're fine.
That ain't good.
How will we move forward with these, appointment of prosecutors?
That's what he's talking about, executive session.
All right,
Mr. President, I forgot, I should get this formally approved. I need authorization for the board to go clean out Southview, 21 Southview.
So moved.
it's been moved by Supervisor Mills, second by Supervisor Gray to clean up Southview.
I need to take the sheriff out there with you.
You have the
All right, how,
21 Southview.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye? Aye. Motion carried unanimous. Okay, here's the proclamation for Mr. Elwin Knight that has been corrected. So do we need a motion to re-sign or do we need to re-sign? Just
Should have
re-sign.
been done correctly the first time.
Just FYI.
I saw Mr. Knight in Walmart, and you never thought he was 103 years old, the way he get around and drive. Woo, that's a blessing.
Come with you, Ricky.
I'm gonna get 120.
That's deep, similar to.
20, baby.
77, you're at, midnight on your clock, so.
All right, this is our, road affidavit right here. We'll,
9 o'clock.
we'll take care of the next meeting. Now we got to travel. Got a Midwood conference. This was James V. And, Midwood, Winter Conference, January 18th through 20 at the Hilton Garden in Flowood. It's Mr. James V. and,
That's not ours.
no, that's James V. And, I'm trying to see.
This is
Beatrice Hayes. Yeah,
So,
it's been moved by Supervisor Hudson,
second.
and second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Nay, that's same, right? What is it, right? All right, we gonna get it. This is travel for Angela James on, December 5th, for $100.88, December 7th. It is signed off by the judge. $90.38. December the 8th, and it's also signed. Amount $45.63. December the 12th, the amount $14.75. December the 14th, the amount of $78.63. And December the 16th, the amount of $138.63. That's for Central County School. All right, can I get a motion to approve?
What that is?
Travel plan for James.
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Nays at the same right, motion carried unanimous. This is a travel date, so it will be now Comptroller Sharkey Martin on January 24th through 26th at our Midwinter Conference in Florida, Mississippi, for the amount of $139.37. Been moved by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? We're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have the same. This is the Election Commission. Historic Rights, going to ECAM training, Philadelphia, Mississippi, in the amount of $253.75. That's the election commissioner. This is employee Elam training.
It's all of them, man.
Is it all?
Yeah, it should be 5 of them.
I got 4. I have 4. Let's start together. Sheriff Fraser. Doris Rice. Yes. Yeah, commissioner.
Is Francis, your name is Francis?
Bailey. Francis Bailey.
They didn't put the name on.
Tracy. Your name is Mary. Maybe they're not going.
One of them put a name on.
Yeah.
So there's one without a name, but there's one missing.
So it's the 23rd through
Well,
the 26th, so we'll have,
just approve all of them, whether they go or not. That's all you have to do, just approve all of them.
we'll make a motion to approve, the travel for election commission of Philadelphia, Mississippi for their training. Can I get a motion?
So,
Then moved by Supervisor Hudson, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Yeah. I think I looked at that, and, one of them said they're gonna provide it, one of the other ones, so you gotta be careful when you pay travel and you ride with the same person, so you make sure you don't pay somebody to travel when they ride with somebody else. Thank you.
Maybe that's why the one person here, so we'll get the clarification.
But they just, we just approved it all over the trail.
We'll approve the travel with the
You
purification,
just
yeah.
don't pay them.
Yeah.
Reimbursement's always easier, you get less to keep up with, you just sign something and get it back.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. They have same right, motion carried, unanimous. I don't need to get through this. All right. Shine? Yeah. Telecommunication. We have a telecommunication, officer Jennifer Marie Hope at $12 an hour, 24, 960. So, can I get a motion?
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor, Middleton and second by, Supervisor Hudson. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, unanimous. All right, this is, we also have a request, from Judge, Deborah Blackwell. This is a request for the board to approve the raise for my staff attorney, Matt Kendall, from $70,000 to $81,020 a year. I mean, yes, annually.
You're gonna pay a difference between that and what the AOC pays, but it's, she says this is your pay scale based on your time or whatever.
Yeah, but don't we have
He has a pay scale.
a certain amount?
It'll
And
be
we
an
have to
increase,
pay?
it'll be an increase of what the AOC doesn't pay. Now,
So what is that?
I don't know off the top of my head, that would be, you have to look at what we're paying now and what the new one would be.
Supervisor, President Jones. Can I see that pay scale,
Yes.
please?
Yes.
It's usually tiered based on years of experience, so like how many years you've been in law school,
Yeah.
and it's something, at least when I was working for Judge Ward, it was scaled like that, so the state said if you've been out 10 years, you get, this is your
We
salary.
set it up like that too.
And she did say she would come and present to the board if the board is so inclined. So, but in the past, if AOC has said,
Where is this going? What was it?
Judge, Blackwell,
No, what was the salary before?
70 to 81,000.
No.
It was $70,000.
$70,000, so he was in staff attorney 3, and now it's going up to how much?
81,000.
So you skip 4 and going to 5. Is that right?
It's on
He
that.
said a level staff attorney 5,
Wait.
right here. Oh, you talking here, back here?
Right there.
He was making how much at first?
70.
That's all.
Look on here. At the end, say 70, so he was attorney 3.
Oh, already.
So,
But was he
where's
behind?
going to?
81.
So he going to
How many
81,
years?
that's right here, so he skipped 4 and went to 5.
How many years in service is what you're looking at?
How many years of service? Did he
16
get skipped or are they skipped? That's the question.
16
I'm
years.
going by this chart.
Yeah.
No, what I'm asking, did he get skipped the pay raise last time or are they skipping the pay?
I can't answer that, I'm just going by what he was making
I understand.
until what you say that they recommended for him. And you got a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever the case may be. He had a level 3 now.
Yeah.
And it's level 4, but he's skipping level 4 going straight to level 5. That how it's normally done, sir?
No, it's supposed
it's,
to go by
you're supposed to
levels.
look at what your years of service is, and that should be your level that you're at. So if then,
16, he got 16 years.
that was what it is.
But it don't have a level of how many years on here.
I ain't got no problem with it, man.
But what
She
would
don't
you,
do executive order, we gonna have to pay it anyway.
yeah,
Only thing I'm saying is, this is where he getting at. Hey, this is where he getting at. And he's going from here, he skipped this and going to this.
Right.
So,
I'm looking up the AOC. Yeah, they said 16 years of service. Make sure she had it correct. They got a list of, usually they're listed how many years of service, coffee, that kind of thing. Yes, sir. Now that it clicks, tells you what it is. Yeah, usually you go up one level at a time. I'm looking at what the suggested service is.
So what's he going to, a step turn away? I've
uh,
got it right here.
you got it?
Yeah.
You
81.
going from 3 to 5, 3 to 5.
Level 5 says applicant must have Juris Doctorate from an American. Applicant must have been licensed for at least 16 years and have been employed either as a law clerk, staff attorney, or the equivalent for those 16 years. The AOC will evaluate all applications. So yeah, 16 years.
All right, so we're gonna move forward on it. Can I get a motion to approve or what we need to do?
I'm asking Scott. And granted, they the experts over there.
Yeah, practice law for over 16 years is what it says. So that would put him in that chart, that staff attorney 5 chart.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to approve that?
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye. Aye, nay, has the same right. Huh? Middleton does the second. This is Department of Insurance. City Fire Investigation Form. This is to, appoint as a fire investigator, Darryl Smith.
We already appointed him.
So, that is that sign.
You're not a fire investigator, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, that's what I thought. Can I get a motion to accept,
Daryl Smith is a fire investigator for the county.
So moved.
been moved by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Gray. In discussion, all in favor, use the sign of aye.
Aye.
It has same right, motion carries unanimous. All right. All I had was and we did have a small storm, probably what day was that? The rest of
Thursday night, Friday morning.
Thursday night, Friday morning, on my end, we probably had, what, 6 or 7 trees down.
Something like that.
Sage Field, Romeo area, it was,
That's one Deerfield.
Deerfield, yeah,
Tree
King.
there.
and, I would say that, Supervisor Wilson, a lot of people don't understand the, work that county road workers do. A lot of people don't understand why they laying down in the bed. Those people out at night putting their life on the line out in the middle of storms like that. So, you know, I take my hat off to them, and anytime you call them, regardless of what happened, if you give them a minute, everybody's gonna be there and they gonna respond. But like I said, you know, this is a new adventure for me, and it started off different. And you know, it's a little shake up, but I know we're gonna have to move forward because I really wasn't expecting what I got this morning. I myself was not totally aware of what's going on with the county administrator. And I personally don't think it was quite fair from because we have had employees, and from time to time, we have some things going on with employees, but I look at the work out of that we didn't pay for. We had somebody that's doing 2 jobs for half the salary, and I know we lost human resources, we lost receiving clerk, we saw that. You had somebody that stay here 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and do 4 or 5 jobs, and the county moved forward and did not have a total chance to do her only job alone. And I know that every time we came in a predicament, she came through and she pulled us out. Yes, one person can't be perfect because you can't do 5 jobs at one time. Some of us make mistakes on our job, but at any rate, we're gonna move forward with it, and I hope we can just, from here, just deal with business and move Adams County along in a positive direction. So, you know, with that, I just yield the floor, and I ask.
I just have one thing. I pulled up my email. We're asking about the appointment on the Regional Housing Authority. I went back to the email and it says the person would be appointed to a 5-year term, and that they meet once a month in Macomb. So I can get further information, but they do meet once a month. It's a 5-year term.
All right.
On that appointment.
For the rest of the board, we heard that. Somebody might want to sit on the Regional Housing Authority. You have that.
It can't be a supervisor, right?
Probably.
Are they compensated, or is that, we're asking somebody to serve?
I can check to be sure if you want to do that.
And can we,
They gotta be willing to drive and comb.
Right.
if we do, if that being all, can I get a motion for closed termination?
Excuse me, President Gaines, let me ask a question. Did we ever set the salary for the comptroller? I don't think we ever set salary.
We did.
We did?
We did, we reviewed, yeah. It's gonna accept from what I was understanding, that they was gonna, actually, when Scott came back, it was gonna accept the 55 we review, upon review when they get in.
Okay. It's not on the minutes. That's why I said we didn't accept that. We didn't put it.
I think when Scott went, he did go and talk to me, but we didn't accept
We
it.
didn't accept.
So,
it.
yes, I appreciate you, Supervisor. So can I get a motion to
So,
accept the, comptroller salary at $55,000 a year? It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second? It's been seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
She did request that this reviewed in 6 months after you show her how she's doing.
Yeah.
We wanted to be bumped up to 60 at that point. That's what she did.
Okay. All right. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Negative has same right. Motion carried unanimously. Now can I get a motion for closed termination? It's been moved by Supervisor Milton and second by Supervisor Wilson for motion for closed termination. Any discussion? Already, can I get a sign? Already vote? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carried unanimously.